Greetings, salutations, and welcome to the 102nd episode of Abyssal Musings. My name is Samuel the Infamous, and as you can see, I am by my onesie right now. We may have some people drop in later, maybe not. If not, then you guys are just going to have to put up with my dulcet tones for the next hour or so. Um, that said, Larry will not be joining us tonight, most likely. There's some IRL stuff that he's got to be present for, so he was not able to make it tonight, but he does send his greetings to you all. And that said, here we are. So, and it was kind of sudden. Not gonna lie, it was kind of sudden. And as sudden as it was, I do not have a show prepared per se. So I figured we would talk about, you know, I guess kind of cheesy B horror movies. I mean, it's less than a week to Halloween. By the time we roll our next show, it'll be the day after Halloween. So we will just see what happens. Now, I have been watching some cheesy horror movies lately. That's what put the idea into my head. So um, we'll see what happens there. Otherwise, but before we get started, we will go ahead and say hello to the chat. And remember, we are live on Twix, Rumble, and YouTube. So you can find us in any one of those places. And if you're on YouTube, pinned at the top is the whole shilling site kind of thing, just in case anybody feels that they'd like to send some support this way. But there again, no obligation whatsoever. I'm just letting you know it's there. If nothing happens with it, nothing happens with it. Like I said before, none of my content will ever be behind a paywall, so don't feel obligated in any way, shape, or form. That said, let's go ahead and say hello to people in the chat. We've got first up is Kohai Masochist, and there's no contestation in the chat this time, so that's kind of interesting. We've got Jacob Gallo with us. Hello, hello. Aaron Laura. Hi. We have Andy Pickle. Hello. We've got Beak with us tonight. Hello, Beak. Good to see you. And Capitano so far. That said, this will be a little bit more interactive than usual. Obviously, because I'm just kind of talking in the wind here. But we didn't want to leave you guys without a show. So here we are. And as they say, the show must go on. So let me know if there's anything you guys want to bring up, that kind of thing. Where, like I said, I'm going to start talking about, like kind of cheesy horror movies, that kind of thing. There might be, again, people dropping in later. We'll see where it goes from there. But otherwise, yeah, this is pretty much it tonight. So free calling. Yeah. Love me some Tom Petty. But last night I decided I was going to start trawling the depths of the Tubi app to see what's what. And fun thing about the Tubi app is if you don't mind sitting through like random commercial breaks every 10 minutes or so, you can find all kinds of weird shit on there. And so I was scrolling through and I decided to put into the search algorithm Bruce Campbell. Now, Bruce Campbell, as you guys know, got to start with the very first Evil Dead way back in the 70s. And he's sort of been an icon of like the B movie scene ever since. I mean, he's done some more high profile stuff. He was in the Sam Raimi Spider-Man movies, but of course, Sam Raimi also created Evil Dead. They've been friends since they were, young. And, he's done that. And he was in Hercules, The Legendary Journeys, and a handful of other things here and there. But for the most part, he's known for his work in either Evil Dead or in some really batshit B movies out there. And we're going to talk about two of my favorites because technically they're both horror movies, even if they're also comedies. And whatever else comes up. I mean, I was just watching a reaction, a first time reaction to. I do this on my own time. I watch reaction channels on YouTube because I find them kind of fun. Even the ones where you can tell that they're faking their reactions are still kind of fun. They're entertaining. And shout out to Bridgeco, whose channel I was just watching. They had never seen Tucker and Dale versus Evil before, and so they just put out a reaction to that, which I also recommend everybody go see. It's the funniest fucking movie. Alan Tudyk kills it in that, and Tyler Labine is also in that as well. Fun movie, really fun movie. which is really funny for me to say because I actually really don't like the whole inbred psycho killer hillbilly shit in the woods. I find that whole genre kind of off-putting. I've never really enjoyed that. I don't like, mutant cannibals. Texas Chainsaw Massacre is not my thing. Hills Have Eyes. Wrong Turn. These kinds of movies are not my kind of movies. But what I liked about Tucker and Dale versus Evil is that it kind of turns that whole trope on its head. So if you guys haven't seen it, definitely go check it out. It's totally worth it, and it's got at least 3 moments in it that I almost pissed myself laughing. It was good. Good stuff. Good stuff. We also have some people coming in, or person rather, coming in to chat lately. Nope, people. I was wrong first time. JB, hello. Good to see you. And we also have Shadow of Hawk. Hello there. So, but yeah, definitely go check that one out. That one's definitely worth watching. But it's regarding Bruce Campbell and regarding his storied career. I mean, he's done movies where he's fighting aliens. He's done just all kinds of weird shit. But the two that come to mind that aren't Evil Dead, right? The first one was the one I was watching last night, which is called Bubba Hotep, and which I've seen many times. I have like my DVD is just about worn out. I've watched that a bunch of times, um, which is hysterical because it gave Bruce Campbell a chance to kind of step out of his stereotypical, kind of role. He plays an aging Elvis Presley, and he does it beautifully. It's one of the best Elvis impressions I've ever seen, and it's in a horror comedy. You know, about essentially what happened, and this isn't to give away too much of the plot because you guys definitely should see it. But in a place called Nacogdoches, Texas, there's this funeral, or I say funeral home. Lots of people die there. A rest home or an old folks home rather, and a man in there who everybody else refers to as Sebastian Half, who claims he's Elvis Presley. This is Bruce Campbell's character, and he claims that he's the real Elvis, and that a while back he got sick of the fame, so he found the best Elvis impersonator, and he switched lives with him. And it was in fact Sebastian Half, the impersonator, who was found dead that day, and not Elvis himself. So he ends up in this old folks' home in Texas, and through a series of like not very well explained events, a mummy gets resurrected. There was a kind of an exhibit tour going through, and a mummy gets resurrected, decides it likes, Southwest Americana, dons a cowboy hat and boots, and then stalks the halls of this old folks' home looking for souls to eat, kind of thing. And it's up to Elvis and his friend JFK, who is played by a black man who claims they dyed him that color, uh, to stop him. And it's totally worth it. It's got a surprising amount of heart in it. Um, and I mean, obviously it's low budget, so some of the special effects are a little wonky. There's like this scarab beetle that's the size of my fucking fist that's definitely a puppet. Um, but it's surprisingly well acted and well written. I really enjoyed that one, and it's funny as hell. So definitely go check that one out. Yes, Andy Pickle. Bruce was definitely meant for comedy. So, old folks home, funeral home, prison, basically same thing. But I mean, there are subtle differences, right? Like a funeral home, they keep the corpses. Old folks home, they ship them to the funeral home. It's whatever. Um, but there's some like really interesting little bits in there too. Like his roommate dies of whatever because old people, and he his daughter, the roommate's daughter, shows up to clear out his stuff and is going through stuff and finds old war pictures of him, and a Purple Heart, and goes to toss him in the trash, and gets into a conversation with our hero, and he's just like, you know, I didn't know you had him. He had a daughter, or you must be the daughter you talked about, and but you never came by. She's like, well, I've been here once before when I dropped him off. And he's like, "Well, you could have come visited him, right? That doesn't cost anything." And that was like this really poignant moment about how we treat our elderly in this country that had like really no business being in a movie of this nature, about a soul-sucking mummy in an old folks home. I mean, with Elvis Presley, right? But there are a couple of moments like that that really kind of stand out, and definitely check that one out. Hey, Carrie, good to see you, man. Late in the game. I was on time today. I'm never on time, but I was today. You know, the other one that comes to mind is a movie called My Name is Bruce, where Bruce Campbell plays Bruce Campbell, and it's fucking epic. So, he's essentially playing himself. When this kinds of movies happen, like, I don't know if you guys saw, The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent with Nicolas Cage, where he plays kind of an exaggerated version of himself, which is kind of hard to imagine considering how out there the actual dude is. Um, but they tend to be a little bit larger than real life in these movies. They're written to be a little bit more caricaturized, and it really works in this case. So he's playing himself. He's got all these fans and stuff, and one of his fans comes up to him and he's like, "Yeah, we need your help back at my house," because this fan has seen every cheesy, shitty, never been seen by anybody outside of like random VHS rentals back in the fucking 80s movies that Bruce Campbell has done. He's got all his posters, just a huge fan of him, but he believes that Bruce is like really this action hero. And what Bruce doesn't know yet is that in this kid's hometown, there's this old mine. And back in the 1800s, the mine collapsed and killed a whole bunch of Chinese immigrants. But before they died, they cursed the town with with one of their gods, or rather a vengeful spirit, who is a guy named Guan, who is the spirit of vengeance and for some reason bean curds. So So this kid tricks Bruce Campbell into coming back to his town saying they're gonna celebrate him and all this stuff because he thinks Bruce Campbell can help him fight this ancient Chinese demon god. And it is the goofiest shit. You remember back in the day when they had, like, narrators who would the camera would pan over and there'd be a guy with a guitar strumming along, and he'd just kinda tell you where the plot was going, right, for a second? That's in this movie. They have something like that in this movie, and it's hilarious. So, yeah, definitely, definitely, go check that out. Um, so Shadow, I know you study, you know, modern China and to a degree their history and all that stuff, but a lot of their religious stuff has been lost to time. Their like old-timey religious stuff has been lost to time, because the Communist Party, when they took over, they got rid of all of that shit. They outlawed it. And then they started going after other religions, but they didn't want people worshiping like Shi Wang Mu, for example. You know, um, they wanted them worshiping the state. So, it's kind of hard to find information on that, but yes, they do. They have they have demons, they have gods, and they have things that are in between, like demon gods. Yes. But it's not really
Yeah, they got a
that
whole bunch of
complicated.
stuff in between.
Hey, Larry, good to see you, man. So,
Uh, what's up?
not too much. I was just talking about some Bruce Campbell movies I think everybody should see.
Yeah, I kind of overheard.
Yep. Yep. Larry's with us. Hello, Larry. Good to see you, man. Jesus, I usually hit the button before I cough into it. Sorry about that. Uh, cough into the mic rather. Anyhow, yeah, so I was throwing some stuff out there about that kind of stuff. Figured I would probably talk about other cheesy horror movies as we went along on the show. But yeah, who knows what's gonna happen. You never know what's gonna happen here on Abyssal Musings. So um
Well, I happen to have a emergency backup show planned for tonight, guys. So I did kind of find some stuff. I know tonight was supposed to be quiz night, and I don't mind being a little candid. So I was called. I got a phone call from someone I've never met 2 days ago, and informed me that my father was found dead in his home on Sunday. And apparently, he'd been dead for quite a while. Nobody knows just how long, but it had to be at least 2 weeks, judging by the last time anybody saw him alive. So I had to go out of town and kind of, I'm out of town handling his affairs, basically.
Indeed. And I know I told you this before off panel, but I am sorry to hear that, man. That's awful.
Yeah, it's rough. I spent my dad and I we weren't close, and I spent most of yesterday driving around the city uh, with someone who knew more about him than I did, and come to find out that he raised her.
Yeah, that's got to be rough.
Yeah, it's rough. So to find out that I have a sister that I've never met, and her mom was the one that found him. Uh, so it's uh it's definitely rough. I appreciate it, Aaron, everyone else. So but I'm not saying that to get sympathy or anything. I just you know Sam and I, when we tell you guys that we want to have something, we really want to stick to that, because as we've been seeing with this show, you never know what's going to happen here at Abyssal Musings. We plan stuff, and things don't go according to plan. So we've taken to a habit of trying to have some kind of backup, just in case. But I managed to put something together literally just before you went on. So I actually saw you. I've actually been watching. I just wasn't done yet.
No, fair enough. Fair enough.
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, you never know what's going to happen here. It's good to have a backup plan, but just in case that didn't happen, I was fully prepared to just like talk for a couple hours, as you probably
Well, I'm
could
sure
tell.
you were, but I care about the people too much to do that to them.
I was talking to them.
That's the problem. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. So no, so we do have a program tonight, guys. I did some quick research. Now I did find. Now, of course, there was plenty of abyssal news out there. I snatched 3 articles because the others were just downright disgusting, and I don't think anybody wants to hear about some chick in Brazil using some chick in Brazil dressing up as Chucky and then using her own menstrual blood as fake blood that
Oh,
she put all over her face. Yeah, it complete with photos. So I know people didn't want to see that. Um,
it didn't
so,
really want to hear it either.
hmm?
I didn't really want to hear it either.
Well, that's why I know you don't want to hear it. That's why I brought it up. So, but yeah, we've got got 3 articles, and then I found a juicy, juicy, juicy long list of horror movies that are coming out next year. And to fix the mess up that we had last week, I found the Halloween quiz website that you and I were supposed to play last week. So we've got some stuff.
Fair enough. Fair enough. So yeah, well, we've
Yeah.
said hello to the chat, so we're past that point of the show. Yeah, we can dive in anytime you're ready.
Oh, I'm loading it up right now. So let's see. Hopefully, at some point, it'll pop up. Why isn't it popping up? There it is. Okay. Yeah. So I'm in a hotel room right now. So the internet is shoddy. So if I drop, I will come back in. But what you're looking at right now, guys, is some company in Texas. Now you're looking at a blank screen. They think it's a good idea to build a toilet with a camera that will take photos of you pooping, because they think that somebody wants to have a photographic record of their stool.
Okay, like for health reasons, I'm assuming. Hey,
That's what I'm
Chuck.
assuming. It's a literal crapshoot. A Texas startup named Throne is making waves in scatological circles after devising a camera that attaches to your toilet and photographs your poop. Quote, Throne uses a downward facing camera that securely captures video during each bathroom visit. The Austin based tech firm writes while describing the crappy camera, simply dubbed Throne on their site. They're not filming bowel movements for blanks and giggles, however. This seemingly voyeuristic tech is used to lift the lid on the user's gut health, as if your eyes can't do that for you. The downward facing device simply clips under the toilet rim and snaps videos of your stool. Afterwards, doctor trained artificial inter- doctor trained artificial intelligence analyzes the stool and provides insight into the user's daily digestive and hydration status. Let me tell you something. The human body will tell you when something's wrong, when you're not doing right by it. Trust me. Better than that camera will tell you.
Hey, Shock, welcome to the show.
Hello. What's
For
up,
those who
guys?
are not familiar, this is Shaka Zulu 12. You may have seen him on Beelzebub. He has also appeared on Screaming to the Void once or twice.
Yeah,
Good buddy.
I like to put pickles in Dr. Pepper.
I
Really?
got nothing.
Wait, really? You like to put pickle in Dr. Pepper. I didn't know about that.
That's kind of what one of the many things that people bully me on the internet. So if you've seen that video, that's me. I saw a video of a guy put pickles in his Dr. Pepper, and I'm like, dude, I love those two things. Let me try it. And now I'm hooked. Yeah, that's me. You know me. I'm infamous.
LOL.
Uh,
I would
Yeah,
laugh
what
if I'm also fighting off a throat cold.
oh man, I'm
So
sorry.
what do you think about Throne, Shock? What do you think about
Yeah.
Throne taking photos of your poop?
Bruh, what in the Ubisoft fuck is this shit? This is like, do you remember when Ubisoft was like stealing like their workers like breast milk, and there were cameras under the urinals and the sinks
Yeah.
and stuff like that?
What?
Oh,
Wait a
you
Yeah.
minute,
didn't
what?
know that? Yeah.
No, I didn't know
Ubisoft
about
is
that.
full of. Ubisoft has more perverts than fucking than Blizzard does.
Oh yeah,
That's scary.
freaks, man. I don't know which is more disturbing, the breast milk or like the cameras in the bathroom.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, most of the people who work for Ubisoft are European, so yeah.
Oh yeah, that's true. They're weirdos.
Still, man.
So yeah,
I don't care if they live in
like, who's
Timbuktu.
funding this shit? Does it say who's
China.
funding this? Of course, China. Oh my god.
China wants your poop.
Can it scan how much microplastics is in your poop?
I'm guessing supposedly the AI inside the camera is doctor trained, so it's going to tell you what's wrong with you based off the snapshot it's going to take of your poop. And like I said, as if your body doesn't tell you.
I feel like this should be like they come out with like a Apple or a AI duvet. Wait, is that the thing that squirts your ass? What's it called? A duvet,
Oh,
right?
the bidet.
Yeah,
Bidet.
bidet.
It's called a bidet. Yeah, they should have a bidet, and that does that for you. Like you can own at least own the rights to your own poop data. Okay, why does China immediately protect your poop data, people? This needs to be a law.
Yeah, I believe that there's a lot more going on with that camera. Like a localized camera, you probably got to have an internet connection and everything. I was like that. That's just sick. That's just sick. If you're constipated, your body will tell you.
Yeah.
So if you can tell by the color and all that other stuff. But no, this is like basically you're inviting who knows what and who knows who into your home through that camera, which is probably hackable, even if it doesn't have to hook up to an internet service, which I'm sure it probably does.
What if you're a celebrity and AI like it gets that, and then they have their own like wiki poop, and then they like post it up there?
Like Wiki Feet
Yeah, wiki feet. Yeah, a lot like that.
Wiki poop.
for Coprofiles.
Yeah,
They're
exactly.
like
Yeah.
wiki stool.
Wiki stool. Yeah, that's a good one.
I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, You remember what was it last year or year before that there was a trend going around where e-girls were like saving up their farts in bottles and like selling them and
Oh
shit, and that one
yeah,
chick in Brazil put herself in a fucking hospital because she ruptured her lower
Yeah,
intestine doing that.
yeah,
yeah, she was
dude.
saving it. She was saving them rotten eggs for a special guy.
Yup. Oh, she was making bank though. She was making way too much money.
Yeah, Simps will buy anything though.
That's crazy. You don't
Yeah.
actually have to do it.
I think wasn't there a case because Belle Delphine I think was the first to like sell her bathwater like
Yes.
online, right? And wasn't there a case in like Canada or Australia or some shit where some guy bought the water and he drank it and he got really sick?
Oh my god,
Why would you?
did he try suing or
I
nothing
mean,
or
he got what he paid for as far as I'm
yeah,
concerned. I don't know if
exactly.
he tried to.
I hope he lost. I hope he sued and lost.
Yeah,
That's what you get.
right. You end up with E.
Why
coli
would
or
you
pink
sit
eye or
there?
some shit.
What
Oh,
did they
that was,
text you?
all three of those were probably in it. I mean, she sat in that doggone bath water, crumbs
Yeah.
floating out of her butthole and going into
Oh,
the water,
ugh,
and ugh,
crumbs. God damn.
Tetanus is probably in it too. I mean,
who knows?
You're a
Porcelain from the,
dude.
paint and paint chips from the bathtub, and you know, half the shit. Who knows what else?
Dear Lord. Where
Jesus
she
Christ,
pees
Andy
in
Pickle.
it. 2 girls, 1 toilet bowl. Very nice. You're hired. Ubisoft is gonna send you a job application in the mail.
Right.
I like
Only
you.
scat.
You're an innovative guy, Andy. I like you. Hired.
Like this one. Only scat.
Oh,
I
that's a
don't
good
I don't
one.
know what the practical application of a visual record of your poop would be because I mean a videotape's not going to tell you anything unless that video camera is equipped with a freaking spectrograph, right?
That's what I'm
It's just
saying.
gonna be pictures of poop. Like this is not for health reasons. This is for perverts.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly. They're like, oh well, your poop is brown. It's regular. Really, it's always brown
I feel
unless you
like,
eat a lot of food coloring.
I mean,
or
or you
beets.
bleed internally, that'll do it too. That'll turn it black.
No,
But
it's
yeah.
Yeah,
just
but
beets. Don't worry, you're good.
you don't need this camera to tell you that. Like you said, this is a perverse tool. And
I
then the fact
agree.
that you buy it, it's a way for them to really do something disgusting, and then you can't sue them because that disclaimer is in there. If this camera malfunctioning, we're not responsible by you purchasing this product. You waive all responsibility. Like no, that doesn't work in a court of law. Nice try.
So is this for private use or for commercial use?
I think it's private.
Okay, it's private. Okay. So first I thought it was like
Any company out there is smart. They will not put it in their toilets. And
Oh,
I
dude.
they
mean,
will not.
So, Cavatanos got a point here. He says, next thing you know, psyllium fiber is being sent to you and you did not order it. So
yeah.
I could definitely see that because if your toilet's filming you, it's probably like got other smart toilet functions like Alexa, right? Except you poop in
Mm-hmm.
it.
Oh yeah.
And yeah, it'll definitely affect your advertisement algorithms totally. So you're gonna take a crap, it's gonna read somehow in this toilet bowl that your crap is maybe you're lacking in a certain nutrient or whatnot, and it's just gonna start fucking mailing you supplements at your cost.
You need to think a little deeper, man, because that's what free healthcare is. They're just automatically going to send you what you need because they see, oh, you're
Yeah.
not healthy enough. You have to take X, Y, and Z.
Yeah. Andy, I have heard that joke about drowning blondes with the scratch and sniff stickers, except when I first heard it, it wasn't blondes, it was Polacks. Same difference, really, in the end. No? Nobody thought that was funny? Just me? I guess I'll be the ethnicist.
Sorry, I was doing something real quick. I just got back.
No, no worries, no worries.
I missed it.
It's fine. I was just making fun of Paul Hadouken's home country.
Oh, Poland?
Yeah.
All right.
So
Oh,
nope, just me. All right.
Damn.
he
I
was
missed
born.
it.
He was born in the city of Street Fighterville, in the country Capcom.
Right, he was
Chondria. Yeah.
he was
Cancer.
born in the States, but yeah, he's very culturally Polish in some ways. I guess I
that is a
probably could
good
have pulled True
Polish.
Pop out. You know,
He
True
escaped
Pop's actually
communism.
Polish.
Yep. Well, he's in the UK. He's not even in Poland.
Sure, but he's from Poland.
True.
Archie Bunker humor, dude. I mean, yeah, it is what it is. I find it hilarious. I think everybody should. I think if all of us laughed at more racist jokes, there would be less racism. Personally, that's my opinion.
100%.
Yeah, but that has nothing to do with the smart toilets. The pervy spying on you, looking straight up your poop chute while you do your business toilets.
What about the ones that play ads while you're sitting on the bowl?
I mean, if you could hook it up with Bluetooth to your Neuralink, I suppose
Alexa or
that's
something like that.
Yeah, Neuralink.
You could be seeing ads anyway. You might as well be seeing ads for Plusher 3-ply toilet paper, right?
Or what's that Squatty Potty commercial? That commercial's great.
Mm-hmm.
I think they even have some toilets that play elevator music now. As soon as you sit down on the bowl, it'll play the
Oh, I already do that. I play jazz in the bathroom all the time.
Oh man, Kohai says, imagine that family get together where you're showing cute photos.
Oh
of your
no!
kids, and all of a sudden, the person takes your phone and continues to swipe and goes too far and finds your poo pics.
Oh my god!
Yeah, because the camera linked up to your phone and you didn't know.
Oh no! It's on the cloud.
It's in a file right next to the one with your fucking your Ring camera on your doorbell.
What if the AI you know how AI automatically does all the folders for you? Like it automatically makes dog folder, selfie folder. It accidentally confuses the poop with the dog. It just says your brown dog and then your brown stool. A picture of corn.
Right? Yeah. I don't know what it is about corn, but it always goes out looking the same way as it did going in, and I know I chewed that shit up, so I don't know how it miraculously becomes unchewed.
Does real corn do that? Is it just a fake corn thing, or is it all corn?
I think it's in the United States, all corn is genetically modified. There is no old school corn had tiny kernels and it was multicolored and it wasn't yellow at all, and it was hard and chewy as shit. You had to boil it for hours.
Yep. Did you see Mexico banned American corn?
I wouldn't be surprised. It's probably smart.
They banned it, and so now they can only buy it from themselves.
Yeah. Jesus Christ.
It
starts out on the cob, ends up on a cob.
Oh my. But
yeah.
Nasty.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I suppose if you want the cloud to know exactly what your diet consists of, go ahead and buy one of these things, I guess.
Apple selling your poop to China.
Right?
Imagine.
Yeah, can you imagine these commies sitting back and just go scrolling through American poop pics, and they're just like, oh Jesus, these guys got to see a doctor.
I know, right? Too much fast food. Gosh.
Me wipe you long time.
They wipe you long time. They wipe too long.
Oh, that's terrible. That is a horrifying product, though. I don't we're too connected as it is. Even what we do right here, what we're doing right now is there's a part of me that rebels against all of this shit too, because it's a little too connected, and I don't want my fecal matter to be part of the internet. So yeah, he's got shitty hotel internet, so he'll pop back in when he can.
Because back in the day, right, or just life in general, if you had a huge disagreement with your neighbor, you didn't have a choice of who your intermediate circle was. You know what I mean? It wasn't like you can just go home and associate with just people who agree with you on the internet. you had to deal with people that disagreed with you. That's a huge like negative about the internet. Even though it is cool to have a lot of people who agree connect, and also have a mass majority of people who disagree have discourse and connect. Like that's the awesome thing about the internet. But at the same time, we kind of just like if we have a disagreement with someone IRL, we don't have to like deal with it. We don't
Oh yeah,
associate with
yeah,
them. Versus
definitely.
back
I
then,
mean,
we had to deal with it.
it's a double-edged sword, you
Yeah.
know. So because like I'm really grateful to the internet for a handful of things, like the fact that I've been able to connect with good people from all over the world. But I also have seen some shit that I can't scrub out from behind my eyes. So
Oh
you
yeah.
know,
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
responsible for a lot of that, and I'm proud of it.
some of it, yeah, some of it definitely. The other show that I do is that we do is a little more current events focused, and especially this last year I've seen some images and some videos that I wish I never had. You know, that shit's never going away. So
Yeah, I'm glad. That was also me.
Just as you
Especially, I think
said that, dude.
I think the dead gerbil. I think the stripper gerbil. I think that was the. I think
dude,
that
that's
was
not
my
even in the
favorite.
top 10 of the most fucked up things you've shown me.
If I really wanted to grocery route, I could have pulled some of these other articles out tonight. Boy, you would not be sleeping if I showed you what I saw earlier tonight, and I was like, even I'm not gonna pull that stuff up. I don't even
Wait, wait,
think we
wait,
could
wait.
even get away with showing it on the video. I mean, on live on stream. I don't even think that Brazilian shit. We no way we can get away with that.
Hmm. So what is this about? This is I don't like this headline.
Digital condoms, they now
What?
exist, and the creators say they're as easy as a real condom.
What?
Yes, yes.
Is it? Hold on. Is it
Digital
like a?
Jimmy hats now exist. Sam and I'm.
Is this like some Blade Runner shit where like it's like a cock ring, and then when you put it on, you turn it on, and it does like a force field around your dick, maybe?
Hey, Midnight Horror, long time no see. And
That'd be cool.
I'm asking the same question.
Midnight horror.
Oh my god.
Yeah, very long time no see.
Maybe it
So,
identifies who you're having
despite the
sex with, and it makes their insurance pay for your chlamydia.
well, despite the heading, despite the heading. So what it does is it makes it's basic as an app that makes sure that nobody can do like videotape you having sex with somebody and then load it up into anything. That's all it does. It says condom is your camdom is your digital condom blocking anyone from taking pictures, filming, or recording audio without your consent.
Wait.
Now, here's the question, and it's a German condom company. Um, how are you going to stop somebody from doing that? Are you going to
So
download the app onto their phone?
is this sounds like an app that was designed to prevent like revenge porn,
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
which I don't
but
necessarily have an issue with.
right, but the person that you're going to have sex with would have to download this app, wouldn't they?
Yeah, I still don't know
Yes.
how it actually protects you from that though. Like it does it.
Eh, y-
All you need to
I mean,
do is to open it before having sex to protect your digital intimacy. Adding that the safety software isn't hard to use, but instead as easy as using a real condom. So I'm supposed to download it onto my phone. I'm using myself as an example. So I'm supposed to download it onto my phone, and somehow that's going to stop my wife from videotaping us having sex.
no, it doesn't stop you from videotaping it. It stops you from sharing the video, apparently.
That's what I'm missing the point.
Oh, I see.
How would it stop her from doing it?
Well, because like the program
If she
would
doesn't
take the
download it,
media file and yeah, it downloads the media file and then it encrypts it to where you can't share it unless you maybe have a password or access to it. I guess it's this is just for like OnlyFans people. I guess.
It's
Like if
gotta
you're in
be.
the sex industry, right? And then you're like, all right, well,
I got you. Yeah. Because if you Google any random OnlyFans chick, most of the time you can find their nudes for free rather than going to
yep,
the OnlyFans website to pay for them. That's
yep.
probably what this is for.
It's just to encrypt, like when you record your I guess, your video, your content, right? It encrypts it so that only specific people can share it. That makes a lot of sense. And of course, fucking Germany did this. You said,
Yep.
They invented tree
Uh,
fucking too.
what the heck? What is tree fucking?
What?
Dendrophilia? You guys never hear. So way back in the day, HBO used to have this this show that was like about all things sex and kink and whatnot. I forget
Real
exactly what it
sex?
was called. Yeah.
It's called real sex.
So in like Real Sex like 17 or whatever, they go over to Germany and they discuss like dendrophilia, which are people who are sexually attracted and turned on by trees. And like these people would go out there and they'd find like moss covered bark on a log in the middle of the woods, and they'd just fucking go to town on it.
A hole's a hole, all right. If it's the 1600s,
Not even
and I'm
in the hole, just
lonely,
like kind of dry humping it. It was the weirdest shit.
oh, okay. Nah, that's
Yeah, it
wild.
was like Germany invented that shit too, as far as I know. So
God, socialism was a terrible idea.
Wow.
By the way, that Jimmy John's pickle witch, I'm going to eat that. Melee K shared that with me, and I'm like, yes, we're doing that.
ugh.
Yummy.
Carrie's going deep. Look at Carrie. Red Shoe Diaries.
Oh,
yeah, that one. Red Shoe Diaries was fictional stories. This was like Penn and Teller hosted some of these.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah, the real sex had some. They had some. You find a lot about what people were doing around the world. And then they had when they go real sex. Take me.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think you're right. I think that's what. Well, we don't need to see. Carrie doesn't need to see that. But yeah, I guess like you said, content creators. This is what they'll post up.
Yeah, that's what it's for.
Good luck to y'all. I don't think it's gonna work.
How
But,
hard could it be
whatever.
to decrypt it though? But then again, it's some sort of protection, I guess.
I
Good
mean,
marketing, calling it a digital condom. Great marketing. We got our attention.
That's true. That's a fair point. I just don't think that they're gonna end up selling this product to a lot of people who think it's gonna work as advertised, and I think the internet being what it is gonna find a way around it real fucking quick.
Always finds a
Yep.
way.
I mean, if you can poke a hole in a real condom, right?
Oh,
Exactly.
damn, that's true. And then like I haven't. So the size of the condom, is that like how much gigs your deal does? Like the Magnum or like a terabyte?
I would guess.
Magnum's a fucking
And
terabyte.
what would constitute as the tip that you have to pull out? You know,
Oh no, yeah. What are you gonna?
That's just the startup data.
What do you call the little arrow thingy? The little springy boingy thing at the tip? No. Forgot what those are
I would
called.
think that the shaft ring would be the startup data.
Oh, okay. It just shows a giant like used condom as like your storage space.
Well, here's the other problem is that like if people are using this privately and not necessarily for business like OnlyFans, I'm not saying that you shouldn't use condoms because you absolutely should, right? But there have been, in my experience, women who will get out of the mood in the time it takes you to open those frustrating little fucking packages and unroll the damn thing.
Right. Well, hold on. I need you to digitally consent to not make revenge porn to me.
Like click here,
Yeah.
click here, click here,
Here,
press
click
send,
here.
and now we've got to activate this app. And it's like by the time all that shit's done and over with, it's like I'm not in the fucking mood anymore. I'm
And
gonna
then
go
the
eat a
app
pizza.
doesn't work when you hit next. And
Yes, it's like that.
Yeah.
It's like that. It's an updated version of that Dave Chappelle skit.
Yeah.
I'm gonna need to sign all this in triplicate.
It's just that if you get to a point, and this is a little conspiracy theory of me, but we know for a fact that there is a push to depopulate, right?
Yeah.
Could this be a part of it? Would be my question, because people who are frustrated with all of the extra steps aren't going to be banging.
They might just say to hell and just do what they're doing anyway.
Yeah, well, that's true too. But there's always going to be somebody. I mean, I still work with some people who wear a mask every day, all day.
Oh my god.
So I mean, there are people who buy the shit.
Doing it. What's funny? I actually only see people in their car doing it, and it's like explains why I don't see you in public. Oh no, it does the opposite. Well, that's what you got to do. What Aaron says.
Dude, can you imagine if you had to throw away the app and reinstall it every time like a real condom?
Oh my god!
It gives your phone the clap.
Damn.
Yeah. You protect you from the toilet company leaking.
Or synthetic. It gives your phone synthetic syphilis.
Genius. It should. The digital backdoor condoms protect you from Malaysians stealing your poop.
That's so fucking weird. And it probably is interactive like that. I would bet money that somebody out there will find a way to do it, because every new technology that we invent, right, invariably ends up a part of the sex industry.
Yeah, that's the application. We found this new technology. Let's figure out how to have sex with it.
Some of them, like Blu-ray, were invented exclusively for the porn industry.
What? I did not know.
Yeah. And then it spread out to the rest of, like the media consuming world. But yeah, initially, yeah, that format was for porn specifically.
Like, interesting. Just clear images, I guess.
Very clear images, yes.
Wow.
Every pimple.
Every bump.
Every pimple, clearly.
Yeah.
Dear God.
So our next and final article. So apparently this so I was reading this. So this haunted house, there's a haunted house that is literally, I guess, attacking people and causing harm to them.
I mean, it's haunted.
Stripped, shaved, and humiliated. I'm in total shock.
That sounds like an SA house, not a haunted house.
That's what I was thinking. It's a psychological torture chamber ahead of Halloween. A haunted house is hitting headlines for hosting a series of sadistic seeming experiences, including verbal humiliation and electric shocks. Paul, I'm in total shock. I can't believe how far things were taken in there. Visitor Liam Gould, 32, told Jam Press, recalling his nightmarish experience in the notorious Scream Shack. The haunted house in Nola at the Scare Maze, located in Walsall, England, okay, so of course it went in America, is an 18 and over Halloween experience so petrifying that people have to sign a 2-page waiver to enter. If you are easily offended, this experience won't be for you. Look at what they did to him.
Is it terrifying because you're going to have to see a rape counselor afterwards? Like what's the deal with the humiliation? This doesn't sound like a haunted house. This sounds like a sex dungeon, like a kink dungeon.
That's what I was thinking. Maybe it's a kink dungeon that, is, turning into a Halloween style kink dungeon. Yeah, it even says here, you will leave wondering what the F just happened.
That doesn't sound like a fun time.
Those brave enough to sign the documents can enter the 6 rooms, each of which has a different theme and actor to have their psychological fortitude tested via various scares. This experience may involve everything from nudity to muscle stimulation machines and removal of personal items and clothing. What? During his haunted house call, Gold said he was verbally abused, prodded, shocked, shaved, waxed, and stripped down to his skivvies like a BDSM experience designed by infamous horror flick director Wes Craven. Visitors were required to sign a 2-page waiver. Yes. Good night. They shaved the road into that. Visitors were subject to various means of mental torture, ranging from verbal abuse to electric shocks to getting their head shaved. They shaved the mess out of his head.
They just shave random pieces, though. Okay, I gotcha. I was like, what do you mean shaved? Like, are we talking head to toe here, or?
I
Oh
didn't expect
man.
it to be this intense or on that level. It was, but I should have known better after signing the waiver form. You should have known before you did it. Aghast, a clothing brand owner, the Brit said he was particularly taken aback after encountering naked actors inside the haunted house. One of Gold's friends bearing the marks of abuse they endured. So he got I guess he got hit upside the head or something. And the pain wasn't just physical, while in the first imitation torture chamber modeled after a hospital waiting room for patients, Gold said he was belittled and bossed around in the worst way possible. If you are easily offended, this experience won't be for you, cautioned the thrill seeker. Worst of all, Enola, described as a bad trip on the site, is a solo experience, meaning the visitors can't rely on psychological safety in numbers. This is only for those who believe they are brave enough to face the sick, twisted, weird, and strange, the Fearmonger's website exclaims. You will leave wondering what the F I just experienced. Scare Maze survivors were not disappointed by the Scream Shack, well, I'm sure they weren't, which was named the best out of season experience at the UK and Europe Scare Awards in 2003.
So,
Uh,
question about
answer.
this 2-page release form that you have to sign. My question to this man would be: obviously, you signed it. Did you read it first?
Right.
Hell no, you know dang well he didn't read it. 'Cause if he read it, he
This
probably wouldn't
is
have signed it.
this is like some like out in the open, hiding in plain sight, barely legal Diddy shit.
Yeah, it's like he ran into a brand new
Yeah,
Dommy mommy who doesn't know the ins and outs, because a good Dommy mommy won't leave marks where it shows.
that's you sound very experienced.
We're gonna skate right past that. Uh,
Tommy Mommy.
One time I was a kid and I went to a haunted house, and there was like dudes dressed as werewolves. It was cool. Like the city I grew up in, there was a lot of people that made their own haunted houses, dude, and some of them were insane. But anyway, there were people dressed up like werewolves, right? And they were like clawing like the doorway to get into the door. And so like I got scared, and then I was like 8. So then I run into the door and I caught him off guard, and he had his hand like in the doorway because I ran so fast. So he accidentally tripped me. And then I just like eat shit on the floor. And then when I look at him, because he's still in costume, he still stays in character. He just growls, sorry about that. Sorry. my mom just picked me up and we just kept going. He didn't give a shit. He's like, get the fuck out of here, kid.
You'll be okay, kid.
Yeah, walk it off. I'm gonna get you.
Rub some dirt in it.
I'm gonna go get you.
Get up, get out of here, or I'll sue you. You say anything, make you disappear.
Oh man, that's what that reminded me of.
That's I don't know why anybody, like, somebody hands you a release form that's more than like a paragraph, right? Like you don't no, you don't do that. Like, you have your fucking lawyer go over that shit first. You know?
Jesus, like this lawyer is like reading this and he's just like, oh my god. I'd rather be representing a sex scandal. What is this? Why do you want to do
Yeah.
this?
I'm with Capitano here. Those weren't werewolves in the halls; they were furries.
Oh no. Dude. That brings a whole new like perspective on like people that dress up like werewolves and shit. Like they're furries now.
Yeah,
So
they're scary
different.
cannibal furries.
Yeah.
Oh man, I don't understand why. So I get the attraction for a fringe, kind of subset of society for something like that. What I don't understand is why you would willingly do that if you're just like a normal person. You're like, oh, it's supposed to be super scary. No, it's not supposed to be super scary. It's fucking abuse. And
Yeah.
you just signed a waiver saying you cannot fucking fight this if they do something that you don't like. That's idiotic.
Yeah, I mean, I have no issues with it because you knew what you get yourself into and you signed for it. But we're just asking, like, why? Why? This is so weird.
I just want to know why.
I just want to know what it's
Why?
like to be abused.
And why naked people?
I don't know.
I mean, so when a person is naked, right? Like that's a very vulnerable position to be in. Nobody likes to fight naked either. You can, and it takes kind of nerves of steel to do it, but it's a very vulnerable position to be in, and it can be incredibly humiliating, and it causes all kinds of other shit going on in your head that sort of puts you at a disadvantage, which is probably why.
Mm-hmm. I'm just worried about my balls. Like, they're very vulnerable.
Right.
That's what I worry
I
about
hope,
the most.
I hope
At
they
least
let me
have
keep my
underwear.
banana hammock on.
Yeah, yes. You at least need that. I don't know why. It just makes you feel like they're somewhat protected.
Well, they're not bouncing all over the place when you're running like for your life. So
That's true.
you don't need that shit slapping your thighs as you go along, because that
Man.
sound alone will alert the bad guys to where you are.
Yeah, your balls.
Just like
where
Like click clack, click clack, click clack. So moving right along. So here's one of the movies that I found doing some research. So 28 years later.
Why?
And I think, hasn't it been 28 years since 28
No,
Weeks
it
Later
hasn't.
came out?
No, it hasn't. 28 weeks later came out in the early aughts, but it wasn't 28 years ago. No. 28 days later, I think, came out in like 2001.
Oh yeah, okay. Well,
Which was a good movie, but the
so
second
you got
movie
to figure
was just kind
28
of
years in the
okay.
future.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? Look, here's the thing. I think we can all agree that the first one was better than the second one, but that opening scene was hilarious. That opening scene was the best part when Homeboy took off and left his wife. That was messed up. He took off and left his wife, and then they started playing the music. Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah. Carrie, I like the first movie.
So apparently,
I
I'm
agree.
blinking.
Yeah, a little bit. Are you getting some
Yeah, I can see you guys. I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear
Yeah,
you. It's just a little bit delayed, I think.
Sam. Okay.
it's delayed, but yeah, I hear you. Oh,
Yeah.
awesome.
But at least
yeah.
at least
Oh. It dropped out there.
His Wi-Fi is constipated.
Usually it's mine.
I know. Yeah, you've been good so far.
You shut up, dude. Don't tempt it.
Oh no. Yeah, I just called it out. Whoops.
Yeah. And I don't like while we're waiting for Larry's audio to reconnect there. I don't understand why they're making yet another sequel a decade and a half after the franchise fucking ended. Again.
Which movie again?
The one that he just had up on there is 28 years later. So did you ever see 28 Days Later?
Mm-mm.
All right. So
Days Later sounds familiar. Oh,
yeah, had Cillian Murphy in it in one of his early roles.
I haven't seen it though.
No, it's pretty good. The only problem I have with it, they made fun of in Shaun of the Dead, but the zombie outbreak was caused by like injected rage. It's the dumbest fucking thing ever.
Injected rage.
Yeah, they were experimenting on monkeys, and they got mad, and then they bit some people, and then those people turned into really fast, scary ass, frothing at the mouth, zombie like creatures.
That sounds sick.
Yeah, but and they're technically not zombies because they they end up dying of, isn't it they die of starvation.
Yeah, they're not actually
Oh,
dead. They call them the infected.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's kind of cool.
But I like the first movie. I just the source of it, Patient Zero, all that shit, that was dumb as fuck. But otherwise, the rest of the movie I actually really enjoyed. 28 Weeks Later was the sequel to that, and it's got oh fuck, what was his name? He played Rumpelstiltskin on Once Upon a Time, and he was in the Full Monty and Train Spotting.
You know what? I don't know, but all
Robert
I know is
Carlyle.
that
Yeah.
all I know is, like I said, like I say, like a opening was.
What is this?
You're roboting pretty bad, man.
Beep, bop, boop. He gone.
Yeah, I was trying to fix it, but yeah, the second one wasn't great. It was kind of, I mean, I don't even really remember it. It wasn't very memorable.
What year did it come out in?
I don't recall. I think like I said,
2007.
2007. Yeah, so this isn't
Wow.
even fucking 20 years after that came out.
Nice. Oh, this is
So,
weeks. Oh, that was weeks. Was days. Days came out 2002.
yeah. So I don't know. I don't know. This is another example of going back to the well on something they should probably leave well enough alone though. I like Ray Fiennes.
Yeah.
I don't think that his presence is enough to save a shit movie or a shit idea. And I don't know. Maybe this turns out great, but I don't see it.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. So when's the years come out? Or it did
What's
come
that?
out? The years did come out, or
No. This is I think supposed to come out next year or in 2026, something like that. But
oh
yeah,
wow. Oh, they're like that's still a reboot.
yeah. Well, you know
That's-
what I you know what's hilarious to me is all these guys going and planning these projects for like that decade down the road. How do you know there's still going to be movies?
Right?
Like, or people to watch them?
Exactly. Like Avatar. Apparently there's like 4 sequels to Avatar, and I'm like, bro, you barely got the second one out, man. Like,
Yeah.
that was 12 years ago, dude. Like I saw the movie as like a kid, like a preteen, and then I went to go see a movie. I went to go see it with like a few 8-year-olds. And I'm like, dude, you weren't even alive when this movie came out. What the fuck? Like,
Right.
how is a sequel 12 years old, man? That's too long. They either need to be like consecutively back to back, or you just leave the idea alone.
Right. Like Zombieland 2 came out, I think, 10 years after the original one did, which was too fucking long.
No,
Yeah. And it's not anywhere near as good. I know there's a fan base for it out there, but it's just okay. It was fine, I guess. But yeah, it's just this is one of those things, man.
That's kind of another issue with the internet is you were able to rip off movies better back in the day because we didn't have the internet. Whereas when you try to rip off a movie that came out 20 years ago, someone on the internet's gonna be like, yeah, it's basically just this movie. Like, what are you doing?
Right.
But back because like that was my grandpa. Every movie I couldn't enjoy a movie with him being like, this is they already did this movie in the 60s. Like, why are you watching this? Like this is just a ripoff of this movie from the 70s. Like, but no one knew and no one remembered. But the internet is always going to be someone that knows, and then
Well, look, and I'm not going to discount the possibility that somebody will make like a remake or an homage or a ripoff or whatever that turns out to be better than the previous version.
I'm
It
not
happens.
against
Like,
ripoffs.
you know how many people don't realize that there is another movie previous to John Carpenter's The Thing from 1982 that was actually based on the same material. Like, his movie is a remake, but it's the one people remember.
Thing is a remake?
It is. The original was called The Thing from Another World. They're both based on a story called Who Goes There?
Oh, I think I have heard. I've heard of that book.
Yeah. But nobody remembers The Thing from Another World because it's a vastly different movie, and it was made in the 50s, and John Carpenter's movie was so well done that it just eclipsed the original. But then again, you get movies like King Kong from like 1976, which is awful. It's fucking
Yeah.
terrible, right? And the original black and white fucking stop motion animation movie blows it out of the fucking water.
Yep.
You know?
Yep.
So,
Or like Godzilla, the OG Godzilla is so good.
right? You know, and then you
Except
get
this
the Matthew
one.
Broderick version.
What was the newest Godzilla one called again? Below Zero or Godzilla Zero? I think it was called Below Zero.
Oh, you mean -1?
-1. Yeah. Dude,
Yeah, -1 was good.
that like, do we dare say it's the best Godzilla film? Like, because that's an example of an actual like remake that
Okay.
is
Well, so
almost a
Godzilla
perfect
movies.
movie.
Yes. Godzilla movies are like it depends on which era you're talking about. And
Mhm.
they're because it actually spans a bunch of different genres, right? So some of it's straight up monster shit, some of it's science fiction-y, some of it's like goofy as shit, like it might as well be comedy, you know,
Was it Son of Godzilla? It's like turns
or
into a
King Kong versus Godzilla, where King Kong like takes a tree and jams it down Godzilla's throat kind of shit.
so cool.
You know, but yeah, in terms of like the more serious Godzilla movies, you've got the original 1954 black and white movie. You've got Godzilla 1985, Godzilla 2000.
I never liked those.
You've got Shin Godzilla, which is a fucking wild movie. And you've got this one, the -1, as far as like probably the best Godzilla movies ever made. And I think -1 blows almost all of them out of the water except the original.
That my thoughts exactly. Like it only gets homage because it's the OG, right? I always respect the OGs, but it's like it has very little to no flaws. Like it is
Right.
a pretty perfect movie.
Yeah, it's got some issues with some of the CGI, but given the budget they were working with, I don't hate it at all.
It's not I can't even say that's a diss or a con because of the budget. Because you can say the same about the first.
Right. Larry, no worries, man. No worries. We got this. And you gave us plenty to talk about too. So we do appreciate that. But yeah, and if you can, you know, if it clears up, if it works out, you know, we'll be on for a little while longer and all that and all that. Otherwise, I will talk to you soon, my man. So
sorry about that, dude. Nice hanging out with you, Lawrence.
Yeah, it happens. It happens. It happens to me all the fucking time. I can't tell you how many times I've been kicked off my own show. You know, it's like I'm not wishing this shit on anybody else. I just like usually it's me. But
it's Gal's show, yeah. That's pretty much.
But you know, but like -1 was nearly perfect. You know, actually, that brings up another question, and I don't think it's talked about nearly fucking enough, right? Godzilla -1 was made for like the budget I think was total somewhere in the 50 million range.
Dude, yeah. I thought it was like 80. And then it was 80.
It's less. Yeah, it was like
and they said there's no way we got all that. Yeah, that's what what he was saying. They're like, there's no way we saw all of that. If that's what they're telling you the budget is.
This is my issue. Every movie that comes out of Hollywood has bigger and bigger budgets. We're seeing Marvel shit for like up in the $350-400 million range just to make the goddamn thing. That's not including advertising.
Oh yeah.
You know, like you get a movie like that, if they don't break $1 billion, they don't break even. You know, and I'm looking at that, and I'm looking at the CGI in that. I'm looking at the script in that. I'm looking at the quality of the fucking acting in that, and the stories and all that stuff. And I'm looking at it, and I'm going, where did all that fucking money go?
Oh, bro, it's there's only two theories that are possible. Like there really is.
It's embezzlement.
It's embezzlement, or they basically just get the budget from the previous movies and they just tack it on to the next movie. Like whatever money they've lost, they say, okay, well, we'll just put the budget, say that it's paid for on the next budget. And then it just kind of leapfrogs to next project. So you can actually visibly see how much in debt they are when it comes to like their movie budgets because they just keep inflating, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and that's kind of what I'm thinking. I was like, these Japanese guys were, and we're talking like converted to US currency, like $50 million budget, right? And they were able to
Mhm.
do that. They had some of the best acting I've seen on screen in years,
Yeah,
right?
great acting.
The script was good. There were a couple of flaws in it, but like nothing major, right? And the
I think there
characters
was
were people you cared about, you know?
They were
Like you
interesting.
yeah, and I mean and for the most part, Godzilla looked fucking fantastic. And some of the bits where people talk about like the CGI where he's like, "Oh, he looks kind of stiff there." I was like, "No, no, no, no. They did that on purpose. He looks like a guy wearing a suit and it's awesome."
Yes, right? I think they were
Yeah.
saying that, like, almost, like, more than half of the budget went to the train scene.
Yeah, yeah.
That's what's even more impressive.
That train scene looks fantastic. Devil,
Mhm.
welcome to the show.
What's up, Devil?
What's up, guys?
You
Just
look
came
tired,
home.
man.
I look like I'm dying. No,
Right?
pretty close. No, like all the first symptoms I got from this COVID is left, and now I'm just left with like really shitty breathing.
Oh, shoot.
So yeah, and it zapped all my energy. It's just destroying me. But every other like thing has left. So yeah.
Did you do the Mexican bowl trick? Where you get
No.
Vicks Vapo Rub, a bowl, hot water, and lemon juice, and you put that all in a bowl, right? And then you get a towel, and then you put your face in the bowl, and then you put the towel over your head.
You
And
call
you
that the
just
Mexican bowl trick?
Oh, yeah.
I remember that
I'm not
from-
Mexican, and my mom used to do that shit for us.
Oh,
I
yeah,
remember
that's
some
great.
Crocodile Dundee.
Oh, what do
Yeah,
you
that was
call it?
cocaine, though.
That's where I went wrong. No, like I said, like when I first started out, all I had this like severe pain through like my joints, every part of my body. I wasn't even able to sleep because of it. That's gone. Literally every single symptom I had is gone except for that one thing that I just can't seem to get enough oxygen, and it's like I said, just zapping all my energy and stuff. And so I'm hoping that clears up in the next couple of days. Otherwise, it's just gonna suck.
That does suck,
Yeah.
man. And aren't you a chef? You're like surrounded by smokers.
Pretty much. No, I wanted to get back to work, so I went to work today, and I had to end up coming home because I just couldn't. I didn't have the energy to do it. It just.
Yeah.
I literally, after like an hour and a half, was all I'm gonna have to take a break because I'm literally about to black out here, guys. After like another hour after that, I was all, dude, I'm literally, I can't do this. And I hate that. It really fucking pisses me off because I'm just one of those people that I'll power through stuff. Whenever I get frustrated, whenever like if it starts hurting, whatever it is, I just power through. It's just how my head works. And so not being able to physically power through it was the most fucking frustrating thing. Like I was literally about to punch walls, pissed that I couldn't just fucking force myself through it. So yeah, not a good day for me. But is what it is.
I've been the same way most of the time. Like it's one of my boss's favorite things about me is I don't take time off, and he's had to make me go home before. Because I wasn't well when I went to work anyway.
Oh my gosh. If that's one thing that I like hoped COVID would change is if people are sick, stay home. They were so adamant about, I'm not saying you in particular, but it's ironic where it's like you have to get the boost, you have to do this, you have to do that. But then it's like, oh, you come in and you're sick and you're sniffling. It's like, what? I thought you cared about this crap. They cared about our lives.
No, I don't. Not at all. Not even a little bit. I hope you catch what I got, and I hope you end up in a box.
Yeah, but you're not a tyrant that's making you stabbed. You're like, I'm gonna do whatever the fuck I want, and you can get fucked. Like I respect that.
Well, like I said, I wouldn't have a problem if they told me, okay, you have to spend this many days at home and stuff. It's not. I'm not like I can't not be at work. I just once I commit to something, I hate falling out of it. Like that. If they told me stay home for however many days and not come into work, I'd be like, okay, if that's what you want. But like I said, once I went in there, once I actually committed to going in today. It just, like I said, that's when it frustrates me, when I have to kind of throw my hands up and say I failed. I don't know. It's weird. Just how
No,
my
I
brain
gotcha.
works.
That's how you know
You
you're
know,
sick. Because I hate when I'm sick and it's just the morning I feel terrible. But then when I wake up at like 9, I'm like, dude, I feel fine. I didn't have to miss work.
yeah. You know, I've actually had COVID like confirmed one time, right? And I got it way after the initial outbreak, but it was still when they were requiring a 10-day period of isolation or whatever. And so, and I didn't even, as far as I know, I didn't even have it yet. Just my family that I was staying with let me know after my shift, while I was in the parking lot getting ready to leave, that they had been, exposed or whatever. And I was like, fuck, I have to tell my boss about this. So I call him up. I tell him, I was like, I think I might have been exposed to COVID. He's like, well, all right, your 10 days starts now. I was like, wow, God damn it. You know what happened during that 10 days, right?
Everything falls apart.
I had, well, I mean, yeah, putting shit back together when I got back to work, because my coworkers don't have the same system I do, was a nightmare. But I had almost that whole time, I was just going fucking crazy, just stir crazy. I was just like, this is retarded. I feel fine. Halfway through, right, I experienced about 30 hours of real suck, but the rest of the time I was fine, and they asked me at one point. There's like, oh, well, you isolated at home the whole time, right? And I was like, well, I didn't come into work. I'll tell you that.
Oh god.
Look, as far as I'm concerned, herd immunity requires exposure.
I agree.
So,
yeah.
and
When I get sick, dude, I man flu it. Like, I have one day of high fever. I'm hallucinating. I sleep all day. Like I'm hallucinating shit, right? And then I wake up all better. Like I speed run colds or flus.
That's generally how I deal with it too. My immune system, like, I will physically shut down for 3 days and just be unconscious that whole time. And my immune system will spend that time kicking the shit out of whatever's inside me, and my youngest kids got the same kind of immune system. And that's just how I deal with stuff. I don't take medicines for it. Generally, I don't, I keep water available and all that stuff. But for almost that whole time, I'm unconscious. So it is what it is.
Yeah, I'm not mad that, like, well, of course I'm mad that I got it, but I'm not. I'm kind of glad I got it, because I wanted, once you have it, every time after that, your body's got, like, starting to build up some immunity to it, or antibodies and stuff like that. So it's not like I'm pissed that I got COVID. I just, the timing is more pissed about it, but
God damn those viruses, just not thinking about the convenience.
I know, sons of bitches.
China.
Inconvenience.
It's a really inconsiderate bug, China. Thanks a lot.
It
I
is.
know, motherfuckers. I'm about to declare war.
I took advantage of the 10-day stuff all the time until they like couldn't afford it anymore. They were like, "Hey, so you have to do the 10 days." And I'm like, "All right, cool. So I'm out of COVID hours though. What do I do?" And they go, "Oh, you have to use your sick time." And I'm like, "That's not happening. So either give me the 10 hours or I'm coming into work."
See, I don't even take vacations, man. I'm a creature of habit, and if I'm not where I need to be at that specific time of day, I get weird. I get fucking twitchy as shit. Like, I'm supposed to be working right now. I should be at work. This is not normal.
Bro, I worked at a college for like a good 8 months, right? And it was spring break, right? And the custodians were like, "All right, so we're gonna be gone next week because it's spring break and we're legally not allowed to work here." Yada yada yada. So they were kind of laying us out what they wanted us as contractors to do. And a dude I was pretty like close with, his name was Rusty. He was a cool dude, and he was like, "Man, I'm not looking forward to the break." And I'm like, "Why?" Because he's like 89 years old, or no, I think it was like 93 or something like that.
Sure.
He's like, "Dude, like if I go a day without working, I'll probably die." And I'm like, "That's not true." And literally a week later, I can't like when everyone came back, he was sick and he was in the hospital, and another week later he died. And I was like,
Yeah.
holy shit, he wasn't kidding, man. That was
Yeah, I mean,
experience. I'm like, wow, dude,
They're-
he literally dropped the second he stopped working.
yeah, it's I don't know. Some of us like I don't enjoy work. I'm not a workaholic. I just know that, I need to work, and so I've trained myself to be
Yeah.
at work during certain hours, and when I'm not at work, then I'm doing other things. Like I have a fairly regimented for a creature of chaos. I actually have a fairly regimented and orderly life.
I have a chaotic schedule. It must be met.
Yeah, but it is, I guess, what it is. I don't know. I'm sorry you're feeling sick, Devil, though. That sucks. Is this the first time you've had it, though? Like, I kind of got that feeling.
Yeah. Well, that I know
Oh,
of. I mean, like, yeah, this is the first time I've confirmed got COVID. Yeah, it's like I said, I wish I got it actually earlier. It's like when you have those the parents have those chicken pox parties to get their kids like
Mhm.
the chicken pox. So
Oh,
like I said,
yeah.
I'd rather just get the damn thing over with,
Yeah.
get it, start building up the antibodies, then it's done with.
Yeah.
I felt that way back when the whole pandemic was going on. I was sitting there like, shit on this. The best thing we can do to fight this thing is start getting it and building up where it doesn't affect us as much. That's how you get it. Like,
Yep.
At least wait till Omicron, when they themselves said that the actual symptoms of Omicron were way less. That's when
Yeah.
it's like, all right, all in on herd immunity.
yeah.
And
Yeah,
no,
that's
the authoritarianism actually doubled down.
yeah. Yeah, that's the thing. I'm in a small way in the back of my head, like I said, I am glad that I got it because now I finally got it, and like I said, but it the timing just wasn't that great for
They just updated
everything,
the
but-
vax, by the
For
way.
the record, guys, do not let Carrie inject you with anything.
What was she?
He says he is the
trans?
vaccine.
Oh, Casey. Oh,
Yeah,
I thought you said Aaron.
Yeah, he says I am the vaccine, and it's like
I am the vaccine.
you've only got the one needle there, and it's a fleshy one.
That's getting into men.
Yeah. So yeah, that's I didn't have the issue like you're saying that you this is the first time that you're aware of that you've caught it. I think a lot of people have probably brushed with it and had it in their system at some point who never realized it because a ton of people were asymptomatic first of all.
Yeah.
And when it first happened, I was actually working at a hospital, right? And not just any part of the hospital, but the surgery ward, which involves a lot of infection and open, biomatter and goo and such. So when they started describing the symptoms, and I'm just like, bitch, I've been exposed to necrotizing fasciitis. This is nothing.
You know what another real shitty symptom is, and I heard about this before, so I wasn't surprised when it happened. Is your smell being messed up changes everything's taste. For the past like freaking 4 days at this point, all I've been able to eat is freaking scrambled eggs and bacon.
Yeah.
Only thing, because I'm already on the keto, and every single thing smells like this funky ass fucking chemical. I don't know what it is. And so I'm like, I can't eat anything. I'm like, everything tastes so fucking gross and nasty. And finally I found that scrambled eggs were fine, and then I found out that bacon was fine. So like that's essentially what I've been eating for 4 days
I thought
straight.
that was just kind of the early COVID people that were getting the flavor or the scent stuff.
I think it's starting to lessen because I did when I was going in to get dinner. I smelled. I think I was because I was about to grab some broccoli, and I was all because I want something green at this point, like literally. So I'm all, I might have some broccoli. Let's see if maybe Miracle Whip and the Miracle Whip started to smell a little more like normal. So I'm thinking I'm on the tail end of that symptom too. But yeah, bacon and eggs for 4 fucking days.
I that was one thing I never experienced. I never lost my sense of smell. I mean, my sense of smell wasn't great to begin with because of years of abusing my sinuses, but
Nice.
it's yeah, I never experienced a loss in that. One of my brothers, on the other hand, still has no sense of smell 4 years later.
Oh dang.
Well, it's not loss of sense of smell. It's changes your smell. Like I said, everything has this
Yeah, no, he lost it totally. He can't
funk.
smell anything.
Yeah,
Damn.
bitter, sweet, almost like stank to the back of everything. It was nasty. It didn't matter what it was. So I've been literally drinking tea because thank God my tea wasn't affected by it. And
Mhm.
yeah, but no, I can still smell it. Just everything smells like shit. Absolute crap.
Awesome. That sounds
Wow.
actually worse.
Yeah, I'd rather just not smell. If I couldn't smell and everything had no taste, I'd be like, okay, I'll just eat the cardboard, that whatever it is. But no, this literally I could go through the fridge, go, nope, not that. Oh, not
Jeez.
that either. Like
Probably
nothing.
makes it pretty hard to tell what's good and what's gone bad too.
I feel like a 5-year-old, like when your kid will only eat
Oh yeah.
one particular food for like 4 years. It's all like they
Mhm.
won't eat nothing but nuggets and macaroni and cheese from the box. Nothing
Nuggies.
else. It's like that. Like all I can eat is scrambled eggs, fucking bacon, and I love bacon, but at this point I'm like, I don't want to fucking even
And
see
bacon's
bacon.
expensive.
I don't want to see bacon no more.
It's expensive. It's like $8 now, dude. Some places.
Oh hell yeah, it's going up
Yeah.
again like bad. I get like one of those 3-pound packs and cook it like all it like it takes like 3 sheet pans essentially. And just use it all week.
I've been bagging them.
Yeah. I cook it all and then I eat it all week. Like every morning I'll have like 2 slices of bacon with whatever way I make my eggs and stuff. So,
Nice.
but yeah, like I said, I've been only be able to eat that. So I haven't touched any of like the pork chops I got or the burger patties I got or
Damn.
steaks I got. Like only thing I can eat is the steaks and bacon. So it's
Oof.
sucks.
Looks like Andy's got a recipe for you here.
Ooh.
Cooking. Okay, so fry up an egg, break the yolk while it isn't cooking, Miracle Whip bread. I do like doing egg sandwiches and putting like Miracle Whip or sometimes mayonnaise, but either way, doing like fried egg sandwiches are good. I just can't do it no more because of the keto. I'm not a big fan of the keto bread. It tastes so weird.
Oh yeah.
The keto tortillas are good though. The ones that are low keto good for keto, low carb.
Yeah. So, gentlemen, when I started the show, I was discussing Bruce Campbell movies.
Oh, I love Bruce Campbell, dude. Guy's a gem.
Specifically, Bubba Hotep and My Name is Bruce.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Devil, I assume you've seen them. Shock, have you?
What happened?
Have you seen those?
Your question is what happened.
Wait, what?
Have you seen Bubba Hotep and My Name is Bruce? Oh, you should.
I should.
Oh yeah.
Let's see.
I think I've seen them both, but God, it's been such a long time. Don't ask me any question because I won't remember anything. But I'm pretty sure I've seen them.
Oh, Bubba
Especially
yeah, it's a fun time. Yeah, it's about a cowboy mummy that sucks the souls of the elderly out through their anus, and he's fought by an elderly Elvis Presley, played by Bruce Campbell. It's fucking awesome.
If you see the cover, you'll remember it.
This is fantastic.
Yeah.
I need to see this.
You do. You know what? Do you have access to the Tubi app because it's on there right fucking now?
Oh, it's
are
on
they?
TV?
Oh, yeah. I'm gonna watch those then.
I don't know if My Name is Bruce is on there, but there are a number of cheesy Bruce Campbell movies on there, including Bubba Hotep, which I watched last night. It's part of the reason I brought up cheesy horror movies. It's because I kind of wanted to talk about that. But yeah, it's one of my favorites. Like I was telling the chat earlier, I almost wore out my fucking DVD. I've watched that movie so fucking much.
Nice.
Bruce
I want to
Campbell
start collecting DVDs again.
Is the best Elvis, in my opinion.
He looks good, bro. He looks the part, man.
Bruce Campbell's one of those guys. He embraces what he is, and he does it so well.
Yeah.
Like, I like I said, love the actor, love the stuff, everything he does. Just yeah. Uh,
Yeah, he's
even
great.
I've even watched through a Burn Notice like multiple times just because I love the character
Right?
Sam Axe, man.
Yeah,
Cover
Max is a
sounds
great
like it.
fucking character.
Hell
It's a
yeah! They
good
made
show
that.
though, all around. But yeah.
They made that one spin-off like freaking made for TV movie about it, and then stopped. I was like, why don't you do a freaking whole show about it, man? Just a complete freaking Sam Axe freaking show. I'd watch the fuck out of that.
That would have been cool with like cameos from Michael
Yeah.
kind of thing once in
Hell
a
yeah,
while.
man.
Yeah. That would have been cool. I really enjoyed that. Yeah, Bruce Campbell is fantastic, man. Like it's the other movie that you need to see. Chalky, Jesus Christ, Shock. Is I was looking right at your name and I just read it instead of saying. Is My Name is Bruce, where Bruce Campbell plays himself, a la Nick Cage in The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent.
Another good
It's
movie.
glorious. And he has to go up against the ancient Chinese spirit of vengeance and bean curd. It's crazy, crazy shit. Yeah. Yeah, I think Waxworks 2 is on Tubi right now too, actually. Andy. Like you said, there was a bunch of like goofy shit for that. But yeah, like the cheesy horror movies, the fun horror movies, the horror comedies out there, like Tucker and Dale versus Evil, or An American Werewolf in London, which admittedly at the end has more horror than it does comedy, but you get my gist. These kinds of things, I think, and they are cheesy. They're goofy and they're not meant to be taken seriously, but they're fun. And I think we're lacking that in a lot of modern shit.
Yes.
And not because necessarily because of like agenda or anything. I just think that, like these writers don't know how to have fun. You know what it is? When they swapped out all of the executive producers in Hollywood, their stashes of cocaine for Prozac, that's what killed fucking fun in movies.
It's also because what's popular is postmodernism, and the idea of postmodernism is not to have fun.
Yeah.
And sometimes deep movies are good, like especially back in the day. Like I like deeper postmodern, like, hey, this is different. I like this, but that's all we get are just intellectuals like smelling their own farts, pissing off the fans, and no one likes that shit. We want to have fun because
you can have like serious, like poignant subject matter, but also make it fun. Like when we're talking about Bubba Hotep, there's actually a very serious undertone about the way we treat our elderly in this country that runs throughout the fucking movie. And it's there's some heartbreaking shit in there, but it also has a guy who sucks souls out of assholes.
Oh my God.
Well,
so
that's the only way to soul out of a human before they're dead. Sucking out their ass.
Movies knew how to like do the Shakespearean like formula where it's like if you have a tragedy, the movie's actually a comedy, or if the movie's actually a comedy, it turns into a tragedy, right? Where it's like when it's serious, you have humor to laugh at the sad parts, right? And then when it's humorous, right, you're laughing at sad things. And like that balance is just kind of like perfection, right? That's how you make movies.
Yeah. And that's been lost though.
Yep.
Like that the art of creating a whole product has been lost. And I'm not talking about like MCU, like let's throw a joke in every serious moment kind of bullshit. Because that's like the difference between like Eddie Murphy Raw and fucking slapstick.
Well, yeah, because the stories have no stakes, therefore they're not serious, and then it's just joke. So there's no actual tension for the jokes to land.
Right. But which is why I bring up these other ones, because they are indeed, there's still that element of fun in them. Like, have you seen Tucker and Dale versus Evil?
I don't think so.
Jesus Christ, Shock! What have you seen?
I've seen a lot of things, but not that much things. What's it called?
Tucker and Dale versus Evil. It's kind of a spin on its head. Like, you know how sometimes, most of the time, subversion is a bad thing, but sometimes if it's done right, it's really great.
This kind of
This
looks
is
like a
this is one of those times. This is like a
th-
wrong turn, fucking Texas Chainsaw
Yeah,
Massacre, like
gosh.
Cabin in the
yeah.
Woods kind of scenario, except it's from the rednecks,
Yes.
the hillbillies perspective, and it's fucking hilarious.
Yeah, it essentially plays on the idea that these teens are like, oh crap, these rednecks are gonna kill us and
Oh my god, I
rape
gotta
us
see
and eat our
this.
bodies and stuff, and the
Yeah,
rednecks are all like, well, these kids are keep killing themselves. What the hell's like? It's because
yeah.
these accidents, these
The whole
accidents.
thing is about miscommunication. It's fucking awesome.
This
It's
sounds
fucking
awesome.
hilarious. It's a great movie.
Because I offend a lot of horror fans when I say, like, when I watch horror, I enjoy them as comedies. I like the
Mhm.
bad horrors. Like, The
Here's
Oh,
Thing
yeah.
is like the only good horror I can actually think of that's actually horror.
here's the thing. I'll tell you this straight up. I think the best movie like
Yeah,
period
right, Andy.
was was 80s and early 90s. Like you
Mhm.
just don't have movies like comedies were better than
Yes, for
dramas,
sure.
romances, action. All those were better in that time period movie wise than anything we get now.
Mhm.
You can't even compare them. There's not a single action movie they've made in the past 20 years that could stand up to like Predator and freaking
Well, the thing
Terminator
is like
and
those movies, the budgets were smaller, right? And it's like, well, the movies have more CGI, they have higher budgets. Why aren't they better? They're not cool. They lack swagger. Like, even if
yeah.
like the
That's
props
true.
were bad and the CGI was bad, the movies were cool because they were cool back then.
Well,
Yeah.
the other thing is that they didn't have the budget for the big flashy special effects, or the effects didn't exist yet, and so they had to make the script good to keep
You
your
had to be
interest.
smart with it, yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah,
It's the reason people watch Jaws like freaking 100 times and
Mhm.
they've watched Deep
greatest
Blue
movie
Sea
ever.
5, or once.
Well,
Like
that's what Godzilla
it,
minus one does too.
yeah, it doesn't matter if you put a big budget, it doesn't matter if you put a bunch of CGI, it doesn't matter if oh, the shark looks so great. I don't give a shit
No.
if it's not as
Mhm.
good a story. Jaws will always be one of my favorite movies of all time. I don't care that the shark now I could look at it and go, is, a little
Although,
up there, huh?
to
Yep.
be fair, Devil, the scene where Sam Jackson gets eaten by a shark halfway through his inspirational speech is fucking hysterical. In
Yeah,
Deep
it
Blue
is
Sea.
funny. But and like even that thing where she's all, where does she keep her? Like when he's talking about the fellow girl. There's parts in it that are funny. I enjoy. I'm not dissing the movie. I'm just saying it will never even be 1/1000th of a good movie as Jaws was.
Mhm.
Right.
And that's how it is with every single genre, every single movie. It's just like they can't make the quality what it was. I wish there was a studio that somehow was able to capture the fire that I used to get for the
Mhm.
movies then. Like I said, there's great comedies, or at least there were, but I'd rather watch a John Candy movie, to be honest. You give me The Great
John
Outdoors
Candy's
or
great.
Summer Rental, I'd rather
Yeah.
watch that than
Uncle Buck, man. Uncle
oh,
Buck.
hell
Yeah.
yeah, dude. Nat? Tick?
You know, I'm not a fan of most John Hughes movies, but Uncle Buck was fucking awesome.
Oh god
Oh
damn.
my
That thing where he
goodness.
got the guy crying because the hatchery's all, I'm gonna go
Yeah.
get it. Let me show you. And that's just the best part, man. But yeah, there's just those is like I said, those are the movies you remember when you were a kid staying up
Mhm.
late to watch because they're all like, yeah, watch Uncle Buck. It starts at 9. You're all like, my bedtime's 9. Fuck. And so beg to watch it. Those movies you'll remember, those movies you watch again and again and shit. And it just, like I said, there's not a single movie studio right now that's making movies like that you just
Mhm.
have to see again and again because they're just that damn good.
Well, I think
Sucks.
that holds true of all genres, but in horror in particular, where the budgets are typically very, very low, and a lot of times
Yep.
because they can't get higher budgets, so they have to work with what they have. Like the original Night of the Living Dead. So when they pan out about halfway through the movie, and you see all the zombies like eating, what appears to be human flesh in the yard and all that stuff, those were real guts they got from a local butcher.
Yeah.
Right. That's how they made that look so good. and of course it was in black and white. So but that was a really tight script too, and it works really really well, and it doesn't require a lot. It's a single set, right? Single location, you know. And because it was black and white, they were able to hide a lot of like mistakes they might have made with like makeup or that kind of thing, and it worked really really well, and they did it all on a fairly low budget. Or at the time, it was 1968, so it was probably a very low budget. But yeah, and it forced creativity, is what it did.
Yeah. Yep.
It forced people to be creative. Like James Cameron became famous for special effects, but what a lot of people don't talk too much about these days is that he invented those technologies with his creativity. Right? He took what Lucasfilm did and he built on it. He didn't just copy it.
Well, yes, it's kind of cool the way they had to get creative to make movies back then. Like if you watch Halloween, the first Halloween, there's this part where Michael is on top of the car going after the nurse, and they wanted him to break the window. And so they actually, if you stop it at just the right moment, the actor playing Michael at that time, it wasn't the actor that played Michael, it was like the stuntman who did it. But he actually can see he had a wrench in his palm, taped to his palm, so when he smacked the window, it would break. And they had to just come up with shit that on the fly, because I want the window broken. Okay, I'll figure out how to break that window. It like you said, the creativity that they had to have really put passion into the project, really made them appreciate it. I think, yeah, it's just they don't make them that way no more.
Yeah. Well, and like some of the fun facts that you find out about this shit, like the 1982 Conan the Barbarian, the De Laurentiis version with Arnold Schwarzenegger, right? So first of all, it has one of the most epic fucking movie scores ever written, in my opinion.
Oh
yeah. But one of the fun things about it is that the dialogue in this movie is very, very minimal. Most of the communication is conveyed through actions and emotions and expressions and body language, especially for Arnold Schwarzenegger. And the reason that it was written that way, the reason he has so few lines in that movie, is because he barely fucking spoke English when they filmed that.
Yeah.
So they worked around that limitation, and they just adjusted the script. They were creative about it, and it works really well.
Yeah. I wish they did a third one of that. I think Kevin Sorbo's Kroll the Conqueror or whatever was supposed to be like the third movie of it. But
it was Red Sonja is technically the third movie, but it's not. But there was a rights issue, so they couldn't say that Schwarzenegger was playing Conan in that. But he
exactly
was playing Conan.
Yeah, that's exactly it. But no, I wish they actually continued those movies, because I like the second one too. I know people aren't as fond of the second one as they are the first one.
Conan the Destroyer. I fucking love it.
Yeah, I actually like it. And the princess, oh god damn, like the chick
was
who
like
played
15 in that movie, right?
Why you gotta fucking make it all like fucking pedo and shit, dude?
The only reason I bring that up is because she is in a very sheer top for pretty much most of the movie.
And because I'm a good, decent person after she turned 18. Yeah, no, like seriously. But yeah, I like that movie. I think the demon at the end was kind of a little lame, but otherwise,
that's it. You could tell where their budget kind of ended.
Yeah,
you're right. Yeah.
They're like generic weird monster who's supposed to be an ultra god. It's just like very weird.
Yeah,
that's how
they did the same thing with fucking what was it? Masters of the Universe with Dolph Lundgren and Frank Langella, right? The end of that movie takes place on Earth because the studio told them they couldn't film anymore because they didn't have any money.
I still watch Masters of the Universe.
Yeah, like the very end of that movie where they go back to eternity and there's that epic fight between He-Man and Skeletor and all that shit. All of that was shot in about an hour because they were trying to squeeze out as much as they could before the studio forcibly shut them down.
Yeah,
that's wild.
I love movie trivia. I like it's That's one of the things I really like to watch. Like things that'll give you all like the behind the scenes shit for all the movies
Mhm.
you love. Yeah.
Yeah. The things you learn, right? Like I know quite a bit of trivia about Jaws, for example. Jaws is probably my favorite movie of all time. You
Mm.
know, 3 men on a fishing trip doesn't sound very spectacular, but boy howdy.
Hmm. Yeah. The same with me. I know a lot about the Jaws, the stuff that was happening behind the scenes.
Mhm.
Yeah, just I think that we should like do a watch for Jaws. The only problem is I can't think of a reason why. Like, like
I think it's awesome.
Has Cloud seen it?
He must have. He must have.
Dude, there's a lot of things he
Dude,
hasn't seen,
dude,
bro.
That's very true.
I don't want to talk out of pocket here, but earlier today I received a screenshot from a friend of ours, a mutual friend of ours, and I'm not going to say her name because I don't want to call her out or anything, letting me know that she was finally starting to watch a movie that she should have seen years ago, which
Uh-oh.
was Silence of the Lambs.
Oh, what?
Another freaking
Yeah.
amazing movie.
It's been a
Yep.
long time, actually, dude.
It has one
Silence-
of the smartest scripts ever written.
Yeah, and it's funny because it seems like even now when I watch it, there'll be stuff I'll pick up on that I never even fucking caught the last time.
Mhm.
That's how freaking just deep it is into it. I go, oh
Mhm.
crap, I never even thought that's so, like it's crazy. But I like all those ones. Like I said, another one of my favorite movies is Manhunter, and that's based off the first book.
Mhm.
Yeah. I mean, they remade that later with
Red Dragon.
Anthony Hopkins' Red Dragon. Yeah. Because they're both based off the same book. But
Yeah.
that was one of the things. Like I was talking to her, and she was like, "Well, I don't know where I should start now." I was like, "You can just watch Silence of the Lambs. It's fine. Besides the one that you did watch, it technically takes place afterwards anyway." That's what it is. But you need to watch Silence of the Lambs. It's a great fucking thriller.
Did you watch the show? The what do you call it?
Hannibal?
Starling? No, Starling. Like
Oh,
they
I didn't
came
watch
out
Starling.
the
I
show.
watched some of Hannibal.
My sister wanted to watch it, and I said, "Well, I love Silence of the Lambs. I'll give it a shot." It was the fucking shittiest show. Hannibal, the Hannibal show, was good. I actually liked that. It was real cerebral. But yeah, that other one was complete shit, man. They totally ruined that character, made it just lame as hell. And they couldn't even bring up freaking Hannibal Lecter the whole time. So even though he is such a central character, the book series essentially has more to do with him than the other ones. For the most part, she wasn't even able to mention his name. Like it was fucking lame as hell.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what happens when you only buy part of the rights. It's fucking stupid.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Andy, you're right. This is a good picture. Let me see. Let's go view image. Doop 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 doop. I'm gonna bring this thing up here. He's talking about the Andre the Giant, Wilt Chamberlain, and Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah, holding him up. Yeah. Not many people knew that Andre the Giant played the bad demon thing at the end because in costume.
Then
Did we lose Samuel? Hello?
Yeah, I thought I was the
Oh,
one who
yeah,
lost
I was-
connection. You guys were going
Oh, he did.
okay.
Yeah.
I'm just sitting here like, okay.
Sorry, I was listening to my AirPod doing something real quick.
Cause yeah, when
I
both
cursed
you weren't
them.
when
I
both you
cursed
weren't
them,
talking, I was like, holy crap, I was all
Oh,
I'll wait for
wow.
my internet to catch
How I
up.
disconnected. What happened?
All
I
right.
cursed him because I kept praising how great his Wi-Fi was doing, He's
Yeah.
like, shut the fuck up.
Knock on wood.
Yeah. The second you praise it, he's gonna take a shit.
We all have shitty internet. Sam's just happens to be
I
the
have
shittiest.
fiber, bro. I'm sitting pretty.
Yeah.
Wow.
You also live in the area of California that has plenty of
Yeah.
internet. I live up
Yeah.
here on the other end where like there's like one internet provider and it doesn't work where I'm at in the area essentially. So
Dude, that happens here too. It's like everywhere. You
I have
have
to
to use a specific like provider, and they just suck.
yeah, because like I've said it before, the internet provider here, it's not necessarily they have bad internet. It's that the tower, the antenna is at the
Yeah.
same level as I am because I'm on the side of a mountain essentially.
Oh, okay.
My house. And so since we're on the same level, the signal is shit. So I can't get good internet. So I had to get Starlink. And unfortunately, it's not doing that great. Damn you.
How do you
Elon Musk.
feel about because I was watching a few clips on Trump with Joe Rogan, and it's kind of one of those things where it's like principally I don't like the idea, but just because I like the people who it comes from, I'm okay with it, right? And I don't like that contradiction, you know what I mean? But they were saying how the government could easily fund Starlink and just have the government run more efficiently, and then also just have Starlink be able to help tons of rural people because it grows the more you invest in Starlink. And I'm just kind of like, that's the kind of like government like choosing who, you know what I mean? Like when the government chooses what companies get certain contracts and then they get rich because they just get taxpayer contracts and shit. Like I hate that shit, but at the same time, it would be cool to see Starlink just boom in its reach.
Yeah.
In just a few years, because I would love to have Starlink or move somewhere rural.
Carrie, I am in Siskiyou County. I'm right there in essentially the middle of the state at the very top, right up against Oregon, essentially.
You get you smuggle your fruit from Oregon. You've told us before.
Don't say that. Authorities aren't supposed to know.
What is it with people? What is it with people incriminating themselves on my channel?
Like, I know. Like it's not even like an issue. Like if you go to the thing and they're all like, "You got any fruit?" and you, like these people might be sweating and shit. But ultimately, if you say, "Yes, I got oranges," you know what they do? They take your damn oranges. That's what they do. It's not like they're gonna pull you out of your car and handcuff you and shit. Like you're trying to
if they're
smuggle.
hungry.
They just take your freaking food from you.
I'm like, hey, you wouldn't happen to be smuggling peaches or something? I'm feeling a good peach right now. What have you to claim, sir? And you're like, I have apples. Or I'll take an apple, thanks.
One time I
plums.
was doing
plums.
They've actually essentially stopped it. Like now they're not even manned. You just have to slow down, like come to a California stop and then just keep driving.
Yeah,
during COVID they laid them off. But one time, jokatively, I was they're all like, "Do you have any fruits or vegetables you're coming into the state with, sir?" And I was all like, "Yeah, I got a combination pizza right there." It's like just to be a fucking dick about it. And he laughed. So, but otherwise, yeah, no. I smuggled freaking fruit into the state so many damn times, and put like literally
the California stop.
Yeah.
Stop to check.
I got a buddy who moved out to California from Colorado, and the first time he was out there, he came up to a stop sign and he got pulled over because he did a California stop, and he got pulled over because he did that. And the officer was like, "Why did you roll through that stop sign?" He's like, "What? That's not a thing here."
Cops all like,
which of course
yeah,
got
it
him.
is, but still gets the rules.
He ended up with a higher fine because the cop thought he was being a smartass, but he was genuinely asking because we out in Colorado, we had always heard that California stops were legal in California.
No, they're not. We just do them because it's a California thing. It's kind of like flicking people off to say hello. It's just that's a California thing. But yeah, no, I California stop a lot. So never been caught though. Surprisingly, literally never been caught.
My grandma does.
You hear this, Chad? He's still spilling his guts about things he's doing
There's
illegally.
two crimes, one podcast.
Oh man, it's funny because on the 100th episode, so Larry brought up old clips from this show, and one of the was "Know Me Without You," who was talking about how she smuggles so much food into movie theaters. Like at one point, she had smuggled apparently an entire pizza.
I'm still trying to figure out how the hell she did that.
She said, I guess she just has a really big bag and she puts slices into like, single containers kind of thing and just throws them in the
Okay.
bag. But the way I imagined it was that she had kind of just
Oh,
taped it
wow.
to her midsection and pulled her shirt over it.
Like I've seen a lady try to steal a freaking ham from a grocery store between her legs. That chick must have had some thigh strength going
Damn.
on. She must have been doing
What
some
the-
kegels and shit. But yeah, like when she said pizza, I'm seeing there like, how did she like roll it up like a fucking joint and like hang it between her
Right.
dress or some shit? Like it's all, how the hell do you get a pizza
Like
in
you
there?
would a sawed-off shotgun, for instance.
Yeah. Well, like just pay for the fucking pizza there. Holy shit.
Right.
But yeah, no, I always taken candy in and shit, but that's just what, like, soda, the same thing. I've smuggled sodas into there, but not a pizza.
I am surprised that given my past that I am the most rule-abiding person about movie theaters that I think I know on the internet. Like,
That's just un-American.
I don't know. Well, most of the time I don't buy anything at the concession stand at all. I just get my ticket and I go in, I sit down, I watch the movie, and I get up, I pee, and I leave. And that's the extent of my involvement at the theater. If I'm going to eat or drink something, I usually do it somewhere else before or after
I
the
don't
fact.
like that. I'm all cool for having like liquor while I watch a movie, but I don't want to fucking eat. That's stupid.
I love that the new thing of having like little mini bars in freaking theaters.
Yeah,
It's like,
those
why
are
didn't they
sick.
fucking think of that like years ago? Liquor movies so much better.
Heck yeah, dude.
But I need something to drink while I'm watching the movie, not
For
so much
sure.
eat. Like when I was a kid,
Yep.
candy, yeah, I'd have like 5 different boxes of candy. I like freaking
Mhm.
Augustus Gloop, just sitting there shoving candy in my face.
Everyone had that black friend that brought their backpack and then they just dusters and shit. Yeah.
But
Yeah,
now that I'm older, I don't eat usually. I just
No.
get something to drink.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't even usually do that with run times these days, man. I'm guaranteed I'm going to have to get up and go to the bathroom at some point in the movie.
Piss in your
I'm
seat.
getting old, fellas.
Dude,
I
it's so
can't
rewarding.
sit through a fucking 3-hour movie and have a large soda because I'm going
Just-
to miss the whole fucking middle section as I empty my bladder.
Fucking, like I said, just piss from your seat. Just piss on the floor. And if somebody mentions it, say the kid must have been seen here, goddamn little bastard. Piss on the floor.
Yeah, it's like
this
what are you
week
talking
was
about?
a
Floor was
piss.
always sticky.
The floor's all stinky.
I'm just kidding. I would never do that and admit it.
I've never admit it. Blame on the kid. That was like the best piss I ever took in my life. I had to pee the second I sat down. The movie started. I sat there the whole 2.5 hours, and then it was the most glorious moment of my life. It was so good.
Have you ever been in a movie and you're just doing that like fucking like the pee-pee dance? Like fucking you're just sitting there like tapping your foot
Yeah.
down, goddamn it.
Oh
I
Fucking
just-
movie needs to end.
God damn it.
Just kiss and fucking then the credits, please.
I'm not even gonna stay for the stinger. I gotta
Yeah.
go.
I gotta go.
That was the Matrix for me. I went and saw the Matrix. I was all like, "It's so good. I don't want to leave.
Show your
I need
tits
to piss.
so I can go
So good.
piss.
Yeah, I saw Matrix in Houston, Texas when I was when it was still in theaters when it first came out. And yeah, that was an interesting place to say it. But the second place I saw it was actually in Wyoming at a drive-in theater because we still had those then. And you could just lean your wiener out the door of the car and go. Nobody cared.
I miss driving theaters, man. Those used to be so
Me too.
fun, and but it always
They still
sucked for
have
me.
them.
Mhm.
Oh, they're few
Yeah.
and far between. I don't have one around here though. But when I used to live small town right outside of Sacramento, well,
Okay.
to outside Sacramento, uh, called Galt. When I used to live in Galt, there was a drive-in theater in Sacramento. It was a little bit of a drive, but I would do it every once in a while. It just always sucked because the movie I wanted to see most was always the second movie, but drive-in theaters, for some reason, you get sleepy as shit after the first fucking movie. I guess because the dark, sky above you.
And the concessions.
Yeah, that's true too. So yeah, I would always be like, I can't wait for the second movie. The first movie's like, barely want to see. But then I'd be like 20 minutes in, I'd be like, fucking
Yeah,
just completely passed out.
We used to when I was a kid, I was like 11 or 12 years old. I had a friend whose house looked out, like you could look out the backyard and you could see the whole screen of one of the big screens at the local drive-in where we lived at the time in Colorado. And at the time, if you could find the right AM radio frequency, you could sit on his back porch and watch movies.
Oh, nice.
Ooh.
Like in Monster Squad, they actually have that on. Do you remember that movie?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I've got a copy of it.
Where he watches with his radio all the monster movies on his roof. His dad is like a cop, and he goes up on the roof, and they sit up there with a radio watching because over back of their roof points right at the theater, at the drive-in.
That kind of circles us back around. Monster Squad was a great fucking kind of cheesy, sort of family Goonies meets the Universal Monsters movie, but they also had some real serious shit in it.
Yeah, Wolfman has nards.
Yeah, that was something that we all needed to know.
Hell yeah, everyone should know that. Should be taught to children. I actually have that on Devil's Angels list. Because not everyone's seen Goonies. Everyone knows Goonies. Not everyone knows about Monster Squad.
You know what my favorite bit in that, not to give too much away to people who haven't seen it, because you should see it because it's great, but is the bit towards the end, and I'm not going to explain exactly what happened, but the one bully, he goes, "Fat kid saved us," and he goes, "My name is Horace."
Yeah.
He's got a shotgun in his hands. It's great.
Nice.
He's like a 10-year-old kid.
What was all you ever seen Omni Theater?
No, I've never been in anything that was more than a basic theater. I hear like Gary Nerdrotic talking about these theaters where they serve booze that have like nice comfy recliners in them and shit like that. I've never seen anything like that in my life, man. I live in the fucking sticks.
Oh, those are nice. They recline, bro.
Yeah.
It's nice.
It's never been. I've been to an IMAX twice in my life, and they were both educational films.
Okay.
Like documentaries and shit, because that's what IMAX was when they first started doing that shit. Like I saw one on called Ring of Fire that was about volcanic activity across the earth, and then I saw another one that was a documentary on Antarctica.
Lame. No, I saw 300 good, but in IMAX.
Yeah, see, they weren't doing that when I was going on school trips to IMAX, though. They hadn't started showing like Hollywood movies in there yet, because the technology was really designed for like an immersive, like scientific kind of.
Yeah, because it's a
most of the time they were attached to like museums and shit.
Yeah, because there's a specific camera that they used to get that wide, huge thing. The way they did the movies in them was just by stretching the film, I think. Like, so it never looked that great seeing them in IMAX. I think later they might have started using cameras that could like mimic it, but at that time, like 300, I was all like, I wasn't that impressed with it being in IMAX. It just was bigger, and but yeah, if you really wanted the IMAX experience at that time, yeah, you had to do the documentary ones because they were specifically made for it.
Good night, Carrie. Good to see you, man.
Yep, night, man.
Dude.
Yeah, well, it's interesting too, because not only did they put it on special film, but the screens themselves were 3 stories tall, and they were curved weird, so it gave you a little more with like Andy Pickle's saying, with the vertical seating, it gave you this kind of feeling that you were almost going to fall into the movie.
Oh yeah, you had to lean back in your seat for that one because the screen was so damn tall that Otherwise, you'd be just like this the whole time.
Dude, the worst seats in the IMAX are the first row.
Oh hell yeah, dude!
Oh,
Because
bro.
you were literally looking straight up. No one ever wanted to sit in those, man. Like you had to do behind the first bar at least. That was still shitty, but at least you weren't looking straight up like the
Some
first three
theaters
rows.
in California don't even have front rows. Like there's literally just like a railing and then like a bunch of empty like speakers and stuff
Yeah.
under it.
Yeah.
So like the front seat actually isn't that bad of a seat.
Yeah. Sometimes you get that vertical shit though with like nosebleeds in arenas and stuff. Like the Pepsi Center in Denver has
Oh yeah.
their seating, their nosebleed section is like 5 stories in the air and it's almost totally vertical. So you can like look right
That's
down on
awesome.
it is and it isn't. When you go there not to watch hockey, but to watch like a metal concert, for example, and everybody 2 rows below you is fucking smoking pot and you're getting a little woozy, it's not so
Ooh.
cool then. You're
Man,
pretty sure you're gonna die.
Sounds like my first apartment actually.
those actually like kind of give you nostalgic feels, like the most uncomfortable nosebleed seats. Like I remember when I was a kid, I went and saw Nitro at Arco Arena, the older Arco Arena, and we were in the nosebleeds for that. And god damn it, the seats were like that big, like so your ass was hurting, and they didn't fully like the seat kind of pushed it down, didn't fully go down, so it was like making your legs cramp. And I was right up against the bar. It was like a torture chamber. But
Yeah, and it's not good for people who have vertigo at all.
yeah, and but I remember it so well being a kid, even though, like I said, it was uncomfortable as hell. Maybe because I was like so concentrated on the Nitro girls. Maybe that was it.
Probably.
It's all
Yeah,
the pain just floats away as his boobs.
I don't usually go to like arena type settings anyway because I've got to think about crowds and about easy access to exits and that kind of thing. But these were the shittiest fucking seats in the house. So I went to see Tool play at the Pepsi Center, and he had second or third from the very top row. Right. And
Damn.
we're not even like facing the
Those
stage. We're off to stage left, looking almost straight down onto it. And it was the most uncomfortable fucking viewing experience for a concert I have ever been to.
Some of the most uncomfortable but funnest times was Ozfest. I kept going to Ozfest like multiple years. I think at the time it wasn't Sleep Train, but at one point it became Sleep Train Amphitheater. And I fucking sat all over that place because each year it was like different things. So I sat up on the grassy kind of hill thing in the back. My ass was itching like a motherfucker freaking for like 3 days afterwards. The seats were uncomfortable as shit. I had a beer pour on me, not on purpose, but like just somebody like accidentally literally dropped the entire beer on my head.
Yeah, it's a hazard up there.
Yeah, it was just like some of the weirdest, and the whole rest of the day I'm sticky, which really sucked. Because you're in the heat. It was summer heat, and so like see, they're just like sticky, just but goddamn, once again, you remember those things so well. At the time, you're miserable, but it's almost like it's this nostalgic feel. But yeah, I remember those nosebleeds.
Yeah, those are the fucking days, I guess. I don't know. I go to concerts once in a while, but it's pretty rare that I go to anything that's arena style for that exact reason. But I've been to Red Rocks quite a few times, though. That's probably my favorite venue ever. The open air natural amphitheater.
Oh, nice.
Right, it's all sandstone. It's fucking gorgeous.
Cool. Whoa,
that's cool, man.
Yeah, it's very. It's a bitch to get to. You got to drive through some of the worst parts of the fucking Denver metro area to find it. But because it's technically not in the city, it's outside of the city. It's right up on the foothills of the Rocky Mountains. So, very cool venue. The first time I actually went there was, again, to see Tool. I've seen Tool twice, and I saw Perfect Circle play there once. So technically, I've seen Maynard Keenan in concert 3 times. But the first time I went out there was in 2001, a couple of weeks before 9/11. and it was an interesting night because it was a full moon that night. They were playing shit off their Lateralis album. They were on that tour, and there was a lightning storm to the south of us. We could see clearly, and like it gets to a point. I was stone sober this whole trip. By the time I left, I felt like I had dropped acid before I left. I didn't, but it was a very trippy night. The lightning started to fucking pulse in time with the beat at a certain point. It was fucking weird.
Whoa.
It was a great goddamn show. And King Crimson opened for him, so that was cool too.
Nice.
So, but yeah, beyond that though. Oh, and the second time I saw him there was with the Perfect Circle, and they had this this Japanese all-girl band called Red Bacteria Vacuum open for them. It was right after Fukushima happened, so they were like trying to raise awareness or whatever for Japan. And they sounded and looked great in concert, so I went out and I bought an album. It is the most trash pop punk J-pop shit I have ever
That
listened
sounds
to in my life.
great.
It's
I
awful.
want it.
It's the worst fucking thing. It's like
Sounds great.
it's like The Warning, but like if you take any discernible amount of talent out of them.
Jesus. Take the talent out.
Terrible.
Dear God.
One of the people I've told this before. One of the bands was playing Ozfest because they have the 4 big bands that you really want to see, and then a shit ton of lower bands that you're like, oh, cool, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna be there all day. Freaking, might as well have some music going. That song "Lollipop Porn Bitch"?
I love that song.
I don't mind it either. But those poor people were scorched when they went to Ozfest. Because it just wasn't for like the crowd, I guess, that they were like, and so they came up and they were really nice guys. Like they're trying to hype the crowd up, and everyone just fucking like were booing them and shit. By the end, I was like, man, dude, if I was them, I would be drinking. I'd be fucking.
I thought you meant like everyone was too fucking baked and just something.
No, they were just mean as shit to that band, dude. I don't know why they hated them that much.
They're so good. I love them.
Yeah,
Crazy Town.
Like that one.
Crazy Town.
I got dragged to see Evanescence play again in Denver. I lived in Colorado for a long time, guys, but out at this venue it's not like the worst venue, but it's it's definitely low tier. Out off. I don't think we were quite in Aurora yet, but we were out on East Colfax. Anyway, so Evanescence does this thing, or at least they used to do this thing, where when they go to a venue for a show, they don't have opening acts that tour with them. They pick up local opening acts to give them more exposure, which is really cool of them. One of the opening acts sounded like if Hanson and Silverchair had a retarded baby.
Oh my.
It was not good. It was not good. The only member of that band who was at all talented was their drummer, and he was badass, but the rest of the band, fucking terrible. But the crowd got so worked up about how they were that you got the booze and you got to get off the stage and get the fuck out of here and all that. But there came a point where people got their fucking lighters out. Because yes, kids, we used to bring lighters to a show and not our phones. And they got their lighters out and they used the lighters, like when you're at a concert and everybody's feeling it and everybody gets their lighters out and they sway back and forth. It was kind of like that, except they were just using the fire to illuminate their middle fingers.
Mm-hmm.
There was hundreds of middle fingers illuminated by fucking lighters, just swaying back and forth.
Nice.
If you haven't burnt the tip of your thumb with a Bic lighter at a concert, you ain't really a fucking man.
Damn.
Right?
That's true. I've burnt myself plenty of times, though.
And we used to fuck that trick where we turned them into like fucking arc welders. Like, you freaking jack them up way past where they're supposed to be, so the flames like that high above the fucking thing. Like,
yeah.
Bring an Axe body spray with you and just torch the sky.
Well, Axe wasn't the thing yet, but yeah, you could use like hairspray or fucking like Aquaphor or whatever.
There you go.
Not Aquaphor. What's that shit that they used to put on fucking body perms? You know what I mean? It's flammable.
Yeah.
Yeah, anything flammable.
Yeah, Aquaphor is butt cream for diaper rash.
All right.
It's
do you
not
explain
weird that I know
that
that I'm a parent.
How do you explain bringing that in? Like, people are, what's this? You're all like, I got diaper rash. Shut up, man. It's
Yeah,
not your
everyone has
business. Give me my butt ointment.
this.
You know, like no, man. I kind of miss going to concerts, like
I know, me too.
like if I had a time machine, honest to God, that's probably what I would use it for. I wouldn't go back and like freaking see the signing Declaration of Independence. I mean, I love that and all, but no, I'd be going back and seeing concerts that
Go
you'll
back
just
to
never
the
see again.
80s so that you can relive the 80s and the 90s. Yeah. My coworker is seeing Oingo Boingo tonight.
Oh, really? Danny Elfman?
Yep.
So, what would be then? I'm curious before we close out. What's your favorite concerts that you've been to, guys?
Ooh.
Metallica was great. I enjoyed that. Aerosmith was good. Aerosmith was really good.
Oh, that sounds cool.
A great show is fucking Marilyn Manson. Amazing, dude. Like I'm not the biggest Marilyn Manson fan. I'm not like a huge fan, but he did a fucking amazing show. It was great.
Yeah, my sister recommends him. She's seen him 7 or 8 times.
I'm gonna go.
But she's a Manson fangirl.
Nice. I kind of got 2 answers. Like my favorite was probably Thrice and Law Dispute. And then honestly, my grandpa took me to see Tangerine Dream. Have you ever heard of them?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Not in a long time, but yeah.
My brain was just blown. I was just like, I'm going. I went to this concert with my grandpa, and like the guitarist guy still had his little. He had like an IV. He had the little stand, and he was plugged into an IV as he was like shredding the guitar, and then the lights were everywhere, and I'm like, this is way too fucking badass for a bunch of 70-year-old men just jamming out with electric rock. Like I had way too much fun.
Nice. I would like to say probably some of the most fun concerts I've been to. I got to see Nightwish in 2007, which was pretty great. It was for those of you who know Nightwish, it was during the Annette era, right after Dark Passion Play came out. Ooh. And then which was really adorable because it's a Finnish metal band with a Swedish singer, all of which is low altitude, and we were watching them in Denver. So the singer had to take like frequent breaks because she couldn't fucking breathe.
Damn.
Because high altitude, low oxygen.
Oh yeah, Denver. Yeah.
Yeah. So and then that one was really good though. I saw Apocalyptica play. Same venue actually. And that's where I got introduced to a band called Duran Gray, which is now one of my favorite bands. I'd never heard of them before that night, but they were really great live too. But probably my very favorite, which is so weird because it was on a blind date that fucking went horribly aside from the concert when I was like 15, out in the middle of fucking nowhere in the boonies in Wyoming. I saw REO Speedwagon play.
Nice.
They were fucking great.
Yeah. So, some bands just are better live.
Yeah.
Like better than any of their freaking albums. They're just so, yeah, it's.
Nirvana sounds terrible when they're in their studios.
No, they.
I thought you were going to say live, and I was like, well, I mean, the frontman's not going to be doing much.
Yeah, that's true. There's no vocals.
But as it turns out, Dave Grohl's a bit of a renaissance man when it comes to music. So
I almost saw freaking Corey Feldman with his band. I was in San Francisco going to a lot of the underground places to hear death metals bands play. Like I went there and I wanted to see Incantation. And so we went to this place. I think is it called like the Pound or some shit? And I can't remember who I was seeing there, but they're all like, tomorrow night, Corey Feldman's playing his birthday party show. And I'm all like, who gives a shit? Like,
his music is fucking weird too.
Yeah, very weird. So yeah, no, I almost said maybe I'll stay and see that, but then I was all, I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna
Nah,
check
it's
it out.
not.
Yeah, I saw a interview with him. The what was her name? Mayim Bialik, the chick who played Blossom on TV, does like a podcast now,
Oh.
and it came up in my feed, and it was talking about Corey Feldman and addiction and surviving what Corey Haim didn't, and that kind of thing. And I was like, okay, so this would be kind of interesting. I'll listen to it. And then I found out that Feldman's been in the music scene for a while. I was like, oh, okay,
Yeah.
I'll check him out, whatever,
in
you
there.
know. And I went and I looked up some of his music, and I'm just like, no, this ain't it, dude. It's like
Nah, it's
It's
not
not.
it.
it's like it's like if a theremin discovered crack cocaine.
Yeah, no. I was yeah, like I don't know, maybe at that time period I might liked it, but yeah, like I said, didn't stick around for it. So went to a couple other concerts and then got the hell out of there. In fact,
Yeah, yes.
have you ever seen that episode of How I Met Your Mother? I'm talking about it because we were talking about it yesterday.
Yeah.
That where he's talking about that burger place and the whole night they're
Oh my
searching for it.
god!
I love that episode.
I have
Because that-
dreams about that burger.
Yeah, because that actually freaking kind of mirrors what happened to me. I went to a concert for Death Angel in Sacramento, and we were kind of all drunk and high and shit like that. I was completely underage, so I don't even remember who bought me the liquor, but I was drunk. And afterwards, we decided we're going to get food, and we stopped at this place, and they had chili dogs and chili fries, and I was like, yes, I need one of those. I ate it, and I remember it being literally the best thing I ever ate in my whole life. Nothing will ever compare. But I was so drunk, and everyone else was just didn't remember the place, I guess. Maybe it was because I was drunk that it was so memorable. And so no one could tell me what the fuck the place was called. So I was always like, I can never find that chili dog again.
That sucks.
I'll never be able to have it.
Oh,
Yeah. Oh, well, fellas, on that note, I figure we'll probably close out this stream. We've all three of us got somewhere else to be in about an hour, so
Yeah. Well, be on the pub.
yeah. So first things first, I'm gonna shout out to Lawrence Knight. He was here as long as he could. He's in, got shitty hotel internet, like shittier than mine, today. So that's why he's not here with us now, and why he was not able to stick around earlier. But we're thinking of you, Lawrence. Like I said, he made that announcement earlier today, and I don't really want to, step on his toes there. But if you pray for him and his family, and if you're like me, and that's off the table, keep him in your heart. That kind of thing. Otherwise, yeah, thanks to Shock for showing up and hanging out with us. It's been good.
yeah. Thanks for the
Appreciate
invite.
you coming, buddy.
Yeah, no
And
problem.
Devil, as always, I will tickle your butthole after the show. I know I owe you at least 4 of those. So,
Yeah, I didn't want to talk fucking Star Wars today. Like, I don't give a shit, man.
Yeah.
no, fair enough.
I'm like, you know
Over
what?
it.
I'm gonna play fucking hooky. I'm good. I have nothing to say about Disney Star Wars anymore. I just don't give a shit. Rather just hang out, shoot the shit, have fun. I had a lot of fun, man. Thanks for having me. Good night, everyone.
Yeah. So, yeah, absolutely. Before we sign off, let's go around the horn real quick and let people know where we're going to be. Although in an hour, all 3 of us are going to be on Devil's channel for Beelzebub. But beyond that, Shock, where can people find you?
I got a YouTube channel. I'm too busy for videos at the moment, though. But I do make videos about just kind of however I'm feeling. I've reviewed TV shows. I've reviewed movies. I've talked about video games. Talked about some current event stuff. And then I stream on Kick, and I'll probably stream something on Kick tomorrow too. So, I'm Shaka Zulu 12 on YouTube and Shaka Zulu 1 on Kick. So, and then I'll be on the pub. So. That's it for me, man. Everyone have a good night, and I'll see some of you soon.
Awesome sauce. Devil, what you got coming up?
Oh man, here eventually, I have like literally, I think it's down to like a little 2-minute clip. That if I clip it, it'll finally not get hit. Should have the next episode of Devil's Angels, which is Frequency, which Shock is actually the
Oh,
Bosley
nice.
for. Yeah, we've tried it. I've put it through there so many times, and they just keep hitting it. It's pisses me off so bad. And then more Devil's Angels will be coming shortly after that because we're like backed up like 3 episodes. Got Seven Brights for Seven Brothers, got With Honors, and now we have Elvira, Mistress of the Dark, all sitting back waiting for the
Oh.
Frequency to finally get
The
out.
best part about the Frequency watch through was when we read that Sylvester Stallone was supposed to be in it. I
You
kept
start
just
doing the
replaying
accent.
the lines as if Sylvester Stallone was in
And then
it.
he added in Nicolas Cage too. It was freaking hilarious.
Imagine how great this movie would be, even better if Stallone was in it.
That's
And,
fucking hysterical.
And then when my schedule does eventually change, I am starting a new show with Iron Oxide. It's going to have a couple other permanent co-host type things, but then we're going to have a lot of interchangeable people. It's based off of No Ma'am from Married with Children. I don't know if anyone that remembers that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So we kind of like the idea, so we're doing almost like a funny spoof idea of it. And the show's going to be called Make Me a Sandwich. So check that out when we finally get it fully off the ground. And yeah. In the pub in like 2 weeks, it might be 3, but hopefully only 2. We are doing the next food battle, which is going to be pizza, and it's going to be a fatal 4-way. We got Shock, Nomi, Paul, and Static 2020 are going to all be eating pizza. See who can eat the most.
Party.
Yep, it's going to be.
Yeah.
I think we're all gonna win.
And we're doing this without paramedics standing by the way, so somebody may die that night.
Yep, that's
I'm
the risk we
good
take.
way to die. I'm good.
As Al Bundy himself said, you know, when he goes out, he wants to go out with a slice of pizza in one hand and a greasy hooter in the other.
Fuck yeah.
How we all should go out.
Let's do it.
All right. So for my part, you know, you guys mostly know where you can find me right here for Abyssal Musings every Friday night, Screaming Into the Void Saturday afternoons, Mellow Mondays on Adam the Renaissance Nerds channel on Mondays. And here in about an hour, I will be over on Beelzebub Hub for Beelzebub Pup. You can also find me most of the time anyway. Last week was a bit of a fluke, moderating and producing for Exiled Lioness 2. And you know, hanging out over there as well. Beyond that, I don't think I have anything else coming up or anything like that. But you know, I'll be around. I might pop in here and there and everywhere. We'll see what happens. So, thank you all for coming. Appreciate all of you guys for sticking it out with us and watching us. And I know, like Aaron pointed out, this was kind of a long stream for Abyssal Musings, but I think we had a pretty good time. You know, and you just keep layering your thoughts if y'all would. You know. You know how life sometimes throws you a curveball, and that's just where we're at right now. So that said, it's been great. Thank you all for coming, and remember, it could always be worse. It could be raining flaming cobras. Good night.